Time now for Green Bay Bullfrog Baseball on WOCO Stereo FM.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog, was a good friend of mine.
Today's game being brought to you by 24/7 Well and Pump, Islandfeld, Scatcherd, and Anderson, the NAW Credit Union, O'Connell Pharmacy, the O'Connell Falls Insurance, Stevenson National Bank and Trust, and Wiz Piggly Wiggly, also by America Inn, Brew Pub Pizza, Cellcom, Tri-City Glass, and Triangle Distributing.
Hello and welcome to Joe Annie Stadium here on this Sunday afternoon. My name is Nolan Knight, voice of the Bullfrogs, and welcome to the Green Bay Bullfrogs pregame show. The Bullfrogs last night would lose in a heartbreaking fashion to the Lakeshore Chinooks on the road as they would on a walk-off home run in the bottom of the ninth inning. It would be Jacob Richardson for the Lakeshore Chinooks that sends it over the left center field wall and gives the Chinooks the lead. In the win, of course, as the Chinooks would come away with the victory. They have won 4 of the 7 contests against the Green Bay Bullfrogs. That the first win for the Chinooks at home. The Bullfrogs are 0-3 against the Lakeshore Chinooks here at home, and they're going to look to split the season series here in Joe Annie Stadium tonight. My name's Nolan Knight again, and you are listening to the Bullfrogs pregame show. Give your lineups for both teams, and then we'll go and take a look at today's league schedules. Lineups for the Lakeshore Chinooks. Matthew Miko is leading things off, playing second base for the Fish. Joe Duncan, the left fielder, will be batting second. All-star Nick Gatewood batting third, and the designated hitter, Jacob Richardson, the hero of last night, the third baseman tonight. He's batting cleanup. Caleb Dean will be playing right field tonight. Jack Dunn is batting sixth and playing shortstop. Daniel D. Simone's playing first base and batting seventh. Behind the plate calling the signs for the Lakeshore Chinooks tonight, Tim Del Porto. It'll be just his 5th game in a Lakeshore Chinooks uniform. Drake Lubin's the center fielder tonight for the Lakeshore Chinooks, and it's Dakota Mexican who is out on the mound for the Chinooks tonight. And your starting lineup for your Green Bay Bullfrogs. Mikey Folia is the leadoff hitter tonight, playing center field out of UC Irvine. Riley Smith, the shortstop, batting second. Troy Johnston, the left fielder, will be batting third out of Gonzaga University. Alex Pinners, your first baseman, batting cleanup. Kyle Binos, the designated hitter, batting fifth. Dan Lucky, the third baseman, will be batting sixth for the Bullfrogs. It's just about his 6th game in a Bullfrogs uniform. Ben Hart will be playing second base for the Bullfrogs tonight and batting 7th. Tanner Poole out of Mississippi State playing right field tonight. And Zach Plunkett is your catcher behind the plate, giving the signs. Your defensive lineup for the Lakeshore Chinooks here from left to right field. Joe Duncan, Drake Lubin, Caleb Dean from third to first base. Richardson at third, Dunn at short. Micah at second, D. Simone over at first. And Del Porto is behind the plate giving the signs. And Dakota Matoxin will be on the mound for the Lakeshore Chinooks tonight. Let's take a look at the league table. The Duluth Huskies are battling the Rochester Honkers in Rochester this afternoon. They are ahead 11-1 in that game in the top of the 8th inning. The Bismarck Larks and the Thunder Bay Border Cats game has already come to a close, only taken 2 hours. The Bismarck Larks win that one 2-1. The Fond du Lac Dock Spiders are in Kalamazoo taking on the Growlers. Dock Spiders ahead 5-7 in the top of the 5th inning. The Wisconsin Woodchucks are in Battle Creek taking on the Bombers. The Wilmer Stingers are in St. Cloud taking on the St. Cloud Rocks for a battle of the cellar of the North Division. The Kenosha Kingfish are in Madison taking on the Mallards. The Rockford Rivets are in Wisconsin Rapids taking on the Rafters. The Lakeshore Chinooks, of course, here in Green Bay. And the Eau Claire Express in La Crosse taking on the Loggers. The Waterloo Bucks are in Mankato. It's in Ryan Garcia and Andrew Fisher showdown. Both of those pitchers 2-0 on the season.
that is your scoreboard for today's games. Let's take a look at the South Division standings. The Lakeshore Chinooks, after last night's win, find themselves in first place in the South Division. They're 7-4. The Rockford Rivets are tied for first place at 7-4 as well. The Wisconsin Rapids are in third at 6-4. Tied for fourth are three different teams: the Madison Mallards, Kalamazoo Growlers, and Battle Creek Bombers. Kenosha Kingfish at 500 and currently sit at 6th in the lead. In 7th is the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders at 5-6. The Wisconsin Woodchucks in 8th, or rather in 9th at 4-7, and the Green Bay Bullfrogs at the bottom of the South Division at 2-9. First pitch just got thrown here in Green Bay, and we're going to step aside for the national anthem. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Stay tuned for the last matchup of the season against the Lakeshore Chinooks.
At 24/7 Well and Pump Service, we mean just that. Water will be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call 920-848-2407 or 920-604-2407, and a licensed professional will come out to your site. Whether it is a water system installation, repair, well inspection, or install underground water lines, they'll be there. Call 920-848-2407 or 920-604-2407. We're in the Oconto Falls area Yellow Pages. 24/7 Well and Pump Service, Fireside Road, Oconto Falls.
Visiting teams and combinations are brought to you by American Inn Lodge and Suites, Green Bay West. For toll-free reservations, contact 800-634-3444. American Inn Lodge and Suites, Green Bay West. Welcome to genuine American Inn hospitality. Over the past 60 years, Triangle Distributing has maintained itself as a leader in the market as it has responded to the changes in product innovation and consumer demands. It is in this commitment to employees, customers, community, and supplier partners that has enabled them to remain one of the best and most respected distributors in our state.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in Wisconsin is this: without a committed team of coaches and administrators, it just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Did you know that we here at the Oconto Pharmacy would mail your prescriptions to you? At the Oconto Pharmacy, we would like to make things easy for you. The Oconto Pharmacy, our family, helping your family.
Hello and welcome to Joanne Stadium here in Green Bay, Wisconsin for a 4 o'clock matinee. The Green Bay Bullfrogs are set to host the South Division leaders currently in the Lakeshore Chinooks. We have some Northwoods League baseball on tap, and the Green Bay Bullfrogs are set to host the... Hold on a second. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. All right, sorry for the quick technical difficulties. We are here in Green Bay, Wisconsin at Joanne Stadium. The Green Bay Bullfrogs are set to host the Lakeshore Chinooks for 4:05 matinee as we have South Division baseball on tap for you on this Sunday afternoon. My name is Nolan Knight, voice of the Bullfrogs, and welcome to the Northwoods League web stream and the WOCO sports stream. On the mound tonight for the Green Bay Bullfrogs will be Nick Parr, right-handed pitcher out of Oakland University. On the season, currently just 1-4. Despite the negative record, he has pitched some solid innings for the Bullfrogs. It will likely be a full staff day here for the Bullfrogs as it's a day before the All-Star break, and they don't want to use another starter in the game. So they're going to probably bring in different pitchers about every 2 or 3 innings or so. At least that is what the consensus was before the start of the game. Nick Parr On the mound for the Bullfrogs, Zach Plunkett behind the dish, calling the signs today. Dan Lucky over at third, Riley Smith at shortstop, Ben Hart at second, and Alex Penner at first. From left to right field, we're looking at Troy Johnston, Mikey Falia, and Tanner Poole. Riley Smith notably at shortstop tonight. Last night would have some amazing defensive plays. Leaping plays, diving plays to his left and to his right. Double play balls. Last night playing second base for the Bullfrogs was really a marvel to watch. We'll see what he can do moving over to shortstop today. Of course, replacing Richie Tecco, who gets the day off. Due up here for the Lakeshore Chinooks in the first inning will be Matthew Micah, Joe Duncan, and Nick Gatewood. Joe Duncan last night for the Lakeshore Chinooks would have a pretty good game. Duncan managed to go 2 for 4. Matthew Micah, who's digging in, is 0-3 last night, would manage a walk. Matthew Micah, the second baseman, digs in, and Nick Parr, the tall, the right-handed pitcher out of Oakland, comes set. Rocks away and sends in the first pitch of the game. It's a breaking ball that comes across for a strike. He gets ahead in the count. 0-1, starting the game off on the right foot. Nick Parr sends in the 0-1. Fastball that time, swung on and missed. Micah chased that one out of the zone. And it's an 0-2 count to start off the game. Last night, Michael Bulkey for the Green Bay Bullfrogs would pitch 8 complete frames and allow just 1 earned run. Had an absolute great day on the mound as the 0-2 pitch is swung on and fouled back right side. However, the Bullfrogs could not hold on to win. Lakeshore Chinooks would manage a 2-run, 2-out walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th inning to beat the Bullfrogs 3-2. 0-2 delivery. Check swing from Micah. It's a breaking ball that runs wide, and it's a 1-2 count now. The Bullfrogs would bring in Ethan Ivanko, relatively newcomer to the team for the Bullfrogs. It was just his 3rd appearance. Would strike out the second batter he saw, forced the first one to ground out. And then a line drive from Ryland Thomas put a runner on base. And then Jacob Richardson would dig in as a pinch hitter and send one over the left center field wall and put the Bullfrogs down, dropping them to 2-9 on the season. Another one's fouled away, and the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Nick Parr starts the game out with a K. His 30th strikeout of the season, and now Joe Duncan, the left fielder, digs in. As recently mentioned, Duncan last night had a solid game for the Lakeshore Chinooks. Would manage to go 2 for 4. More notably, a night after he was the only Chinook to manage to get a base hit. Would get 2 hits in a game against the Madison Mallards, and where the Lakeshore Chinooks lost 10-0. First pitch into Joe Duncan's a fastball that finds the lower outside portion. 0-1, Duncan falls behind. 89 from a Nick Parr, the right-handed pitcher. Parr wasting no time, kicks the leg and sends in the 0-1. Swung on it to liner to right. That's going to drop at the feet of Tanner Poole, and to be another base hit for Joe Duncan. So his hot hitting continues. In his last 10 games coming into the series against the Bullfrogs, was batting .372. Last night managed a multi-hit day, and starting off today on the same foot, manages a base hit, and that'll bring up the all-star, Nick Gatewood. The designated hitter and catcher for the Lakeshore Chinooks this season has been unbelievable. However, last night for the Chinooks would have his struggles, went 0 for 4. First pitch he sees, an 88-mile-per-hour fastball right over the plate, and he goes down the count 0-1. Nick Gatewood has had the Bullfrogs number as well against the Frogs. He's batting .360, has managed 2 doubles, 2 home runs, one of those being a grand slam, and 7 RBIs. The left-handed pitcher digs in out of Georgia State. Nick Parr comes set, deals in the 0-1. Fastball that finds the outside corner, and the Parr ahead in the count here, 0-2. So far here early, Parr doing a solid job of getting ahead in the count. Of course, that's been the problem with the Bullfrogs this season, is that they just throw a little bit too many balls. Currently lead the league in walks. 0-2 pitch, runner off from first. Throw down from Plunkett's not going to be there as the ball plops out of his glove as he tries to make the throw down. Goes to make the transfer. The ball just flies up in the air. And unfortunately for her, Plunkett, runner steals on him. You don't get to say that too often. Plunkett with one of the best arms in the Northwoods League. If he gets a nice transfer.
Honey, get the camera. Riley's rolling again.
That dog always gets excited up here at the cabin.
Riley loves the woods, don't you, Riley? Roll, Riley, roll. You getting this?
I'm getting it all. It's fabulous. But we can't upload it until we get home.
Right, no data connection up here.
Challenge.
Coach McCarthy?
Mason Crosby.
Switch to Cellcom, guys. Our coverage is great, whether you're out here or anywhere coast to coast.
Yeah, Riley's fans don't want to wait.
Now Riley's really on a roll.
At Cellcom, we've got you covered out in the country and all across the country. Cellcom, built for you.
Very athletic. I think we can use him on special teams.
But not to kick, right?
We'll see.
It's Cellcom's Customer Appreciation Celebrations. Get smartphones from the top 2 brands for just a penny each, along with food prizes and sales on accessories. Cellcom, built for you. Available day of event only. New 2-year activation qualified upgrade required. Restrictions apply. Visit cellcom.com/celebrate for details.
Nick Parr nods his head. Comes set and delivers in the 2-2. Fastball wide. 89 miles per hour there from Nick Parr. Parr supporting one of the strongest arms on the team. Can he reach the low 90s? There's only so many pitchers in this pitching staff for the Bullfrogs that can manage that feat. And Parr, one of those. Parr, of course, out of Powell, Ohio. The sophomore this past season for Oakland would support a 4-3 record. Checks the runner a couple of times, and the batter in Richardson calls time. Parr back in 2016 would appear in 13 games for a 3.57 ERA. Out of high school was ranked the 20th best right-handed pitcher out of Ohio. The payoff pitch is swung on a high pop-up in the infield, and the third baseman, Dan Lucky, gets underneath of it and makes the grab, retiring the side. The Bullfrogs leave one stranded at second. That'll do it for the top of the first inning. Stay tuned for the bottom half. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Stay tuned.
Is locally owned and family operated and has been since 1960. Specializing in commercial glass projects and automotive glass repair. Having grown up right here in Northeast Wisconsin, Tri-City understands your needs and wants to be the residential glass and door professionals you can count on. They're here for your family in all of life stages, from building an addition on your home for your newborn to applying Aquapel to your new driver's car. Additionally, they are locally owned, so there's no hoops to jump through. You can call them or come in at any time to talk directly to one of their glass and door experts.
Wisconsin law requires all youth athlete organizations to educate coaches, athletes, and parents on the risks of concussions and head injuries. The law prohibits participation in a youth activity until the athlete and parents have signed an agreement sheet indicating they have reviewed concussion and head injury information materials. The Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction has published a Sideline to Safety Guidelines for youth athletic organizations. Visit the WIAA website to learn more at www.wiaawi.org.
Come back to the beautiful, historic Joe Annie Stadium. My name is Nolan Knight, voice of the Bullfrogs. We are here in the bottom of the first inning. Out on the mound for the Lakeshore Chinooks, and this one will be Dakota Matoxin. I'm going to have to apologize to the Matoxin family. I think the last time Dakota was here, I was pronouncing his name Mexican or something along those lines. That's just not right. It's Matoxin out on the mound for the Lakeshore Chinooks, the right-handed pitcher. He's going to look to try to put the Bullfrogs down here. Of course, the Lakeshore Chinooks currently has the season series victory 4-3 over the Bullfrogs after last night's win at home 3-2, where the Chinooks would have managed 3 unanswered runs in the 8th and 9th inning. A 2-run walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th would be the difference. And the Bullfrogs will look to try to even up the season series. This is the last time the Bullfrogs will face off against the Lakeshore Chinooks this season. Leading things off for the Green Bay Bullfrogs will be Mikey Falia, the center fielder out of UC Irvine. Riley Smith on deck for the Bullfrogs, and Troy Johnston in the hole. Mikey Falia digs in and awaits the first pitch from Matoxin. Fastball swung on and missed. Falia behind it. 0-1. Mikey Falia last night for the Bullfrogs would go 1 for 4 and come around to score. Got his first action in center field last night and played pretty well. So gets the nod to command center field tonight as well, as the 0-1 pitch runs inside. An 86-mile-per-hour fastball from the right-handed pitcher. Evens the count 1-1. Normally when Alonzo Jones is not out in this outfield, you'll see Troy Johnston take over the reins in center. However, Mikey Falia has gotten the nod the past 2 days now. Another fastball comes by, that one high, and now a 2-1 count. Matoxin comes set, kicks the legs, and in the 2-1. That one swung on and missed. It evens the count, 2-2. Defensive lineup for the Lakeshore Chinooks tonight from left to right field: Joe Duncan, Drake Lubin, and Caleb Dean. The 2-2 offering. Swung on, lined foul into the parking lot. Count will remain 2-2. And then from third to first base, Jacob Richardson, Jack Dunn at short, Micah at second, and D. Simone at first. Behind the plate is Tim Dalporto for the second night in a row, despite only playing in 6 games this season. 2-2. A nice curveball from the righty. However, it's low and inside. Full count. Matoxin deals in the payoff. Fastball runs way high at the eyes of Mikey Falia, and it's ball 4. The Bullfrogs with their first base runner of the game as we're here in the bottom of the first inning. No outs on the board, nobody on. We just got underway with the bottom half of the first. Riley Smith, the shortstop out of the University of Minnesota, digs in. Riley Smith, the right-handed pitcher last night for the Bullfrogs. If you were tuned in to the pregame show, you heard about him. Had an absolute phenomenal night defensively. Finds himself playing shortstop today. First pitch to him. Shows bunt, but pulls it away. It runs wide. of the bat, but does find the strike zone 0-1. Riley Smith last night managed to go 1 for 3 for the Bullfrogs and a sacrifice bunt to his stat line as well. A 1 offering, runner off from first, swung on, popped up, foul, out of play, past the concession stands as well. He goes down the count 0-2. Riley Smith for the Bullfrogs has been a bright spot. Smith last night managed, as mentioned, to go 1 for 3, but on the season batting .328 coming into the contest. The best on the Green Bay Bullfrogs roster. The relative newcomer has played in just 17 games. 0-2 pitch. Fastball that runs low and away. 1-2. But to kind of put it in perspective for you Bullfrogs fans out there, Grant Frazier, who was a part of this Bullfrogs roster for some time to start the year, only played in 17 games. So although Riley Smith hasn't been around the whole season, he's played just as long as Frazier did. A 1-2 pitch, swung on and fouled away right side. Falia took off early that time as well, but will have to jog back over to first base. So Bullfrogs hitters here fouling off some balls. Recently they've been in every single game they've been in, and many of heartbreaking losses have come away as well. Runner off from first, throw down, not in time. Riley Smith, however, will go down as the pitch that comes across finds the zone. Riley Smith can't believe it, gives a couple of looks to the home plate umpire and will walk back to the dugout. Mikey Felias takes off for second, though, so now a runner in scoring position for the Bullfrogs, but a backwards K to Riley Smith will bring up Troy Johnston, the left fielder. It was a nice breaking ball from Matoxen that fooled Riley Smith there. So one away, runner at second, and Troy Johnston digs in. Left fielder watches a fastball run low and inside, that being the hardest thrown ball of the night from Troy Johnston, or rather from Matoxen, 87 from the righty. Matoxen checks the runner at second, kicks the leg and sends in the 1-0. That one swung on and fouled back past the grandstands, and it evens the count up 1-1. Matoxen started his season out for the Battle Creek Bombers. Would pitch the last time against the Bullfrogs that he was here in Green Bay. And of Franklin, Wisconsin, plays for the University of Memphis. Just finished up his freshman campaign. Right-handed pitcher has a strikeout on the night. That one coming to Riley Smith, who just went down looking. Johnson digs back in. The left fielder awaits. The 1-1 to him. Fastball swung on, a liner into left. Left fielder has a read on it and gets underneath of it for the second. To the fastball way inside. He thought that it had nipped the inside of his uniform. Started to walk over towards first base. Doesn't really disagree with the umpire, but digs back in now. Matoxen checks fully at second. A base hit could score him. A 1-0 delivery. Fastball that runs high, and Matoxen goes down the count 2-0. Alex Pinner out of Scottsdale Community College, a recent commitment to Mississippi State. I don't know if you can say recent anymore. Of course, way deep into this Northwoods League season. And he's more close to playing for the Mississippi State Tigers than he was, say, when he came into the year. He's not the Tigers. Those are the Bulldogs, excuse me. Sorry to all the Mississippi State fans that are tuned in out there. Of course, we've had a pretty good following from the Mississippi State fans on social media. The 2-1 pitch fouled away right side. The count turns even 2-2. It's an absolute gorgeous night here at Joanne Stadium, or afternoon, or even whatever you may call it. About 71 degrees. A nice breeze out in the air. You could probably wear a long sleeve short and jeans, or you can find yourself in probably a tank top and shorts and still be comfortable. 2-2 pitch, breaking ball that runs wide. Pinner thought about swinging at that one, but it's a full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second. Bottom of the first inning, tied up 0-0. The switch hitter and Alex Pinner stands in. Waves his lumber around. Righty Matoxin comes set. Checks Folia at second. Deals. Swung on. Line at right side. That's going to get into right field. Chris Sayos bringing in Folia. The throw from right. Not going to be in time. And the Bullfrogs take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. Alex Pinner, who has just been hot for the Bullfrogs recently, continues his hot hitting. Coming into the game was batting .291 and is batting way above .300 in his last 10 games or so. Grabs himself an RBI here as Folia comes around to score. It's his 14th RBI of the season, and Folia touches home plate. That's being his 14th run of the year as well. How about that? 14 RBIs for Alex Pinner and 14 runs for Mikey Folia now. So Alex Pinner takes the lead over at first, and Kyle Bino, the designated hitter, digs in. First pitch to him, a breaking ball that finds the outside corner, 0-1. Kyle Bino didn't agree with it, gave a long look to the umpire, and now stands back in. You talk about the All-Star game, of course, coming up tomorrow, or rather All-Star weekend, and All-Star activities and festivities going on in Wausau. As the 0-1 pitch comes in, a breaking ball that comes across and hits Kyle Bino in the head. Good Lord. Bino seems okay. Luckily, it was a breaking ball, so it was only going about 70 miles per hour or so. But still, he gets conked right in the head. Kind of bounces around back into the infield, in fact. And when Kyle Bino started walking over towards first, he said something to the umpire. Can't imagine it was the nicest thing. But nonetheless, after the hit by pitch, Kyle Bino takes a lead from first. Runners at first and second now as Alex Pinner takes his lead from second. And Dan Leckie, the third baseman, digs in. First pitch to him. Fastball swung on, popped up in the infield. In fact, it's in shallow center. Could be trouble. Second baseman gets underneath of it, Matthew Micah. And after the shortstop and center fielder and second baseman and Micah all kind of converse and figure out who's going to grab it, finally Micah gets underneath of it and makes the grab. That will retire the first inning. The Bullfrogs take a 1-0 lead after one. Stay tuned for the second after this. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Stay tuned.
We've heard it time and time again. You want local loan decisions and servicing, faster turnaround, and answers to your questions handled right here in Oconto. At the Stevenson National Bank and Trust, we've got all of those bases covered, from local loan decisions and on-time closings to great rates and fair terms. Visit me, Bob Schwartz, at the Stevenson National Bank and Trust. I've helped many people, and now I'd like to help you with your next loan. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
American Lodge and Suites Green Bay West is the ideal location for your next stay, whether you're traveling for business or pleasure. They are proud to provide the amenities you want most and deliver them at the highest level possible, starting with comfortable, quieter guest rooms. Welcome to genuine American hospitality.
Combine the flavors of Italy with the heart of the Irish, add some Chicago flair, and you've got Gallagher's Pizza. For the best Chicago-style pizza north of the Illinois border, Gallagher's Pizza is your destination. Call now for delivery or pickup in Green Bay and De Pere. Gallagher's Pizza, home of the best lunch buffet in town.
Hello and welcome back to Joe Annie Stadium here, top of the second, about to get underway. Nick Parr still out on the bump for the Bullfrogs, the right-handed pitcher out of Oakland University. Off to a good start tonight. Has 2 strikeouts in his first inning and would leave 1 stranded. Due up for the Lakeshore Chinooks here in the second will be Caleb Dean, the right fielder, Jack Dunn, the shortstop, and Daniel DeSimone, the first baseman. Caleb Dean last night for the Lakeshore Chinooks would go 2 for 3. Would be one of 3 Chinooks last night who would manage multi-hit days. Last night, hit as the 8-hole hitter and managed the multi-hit day with a run score. Tonight, moves all the way up to the 5-hole hitter. The right fielder digs in and awaits the offering from Nick Parr. The Oakland product stands in and, wasting no time, sends in the first pitch of the inning. It's a fastball that runs wide and low in the dirt, 1-0. Caleb Dean out of Lamar University just finished up his redshirt sophomore season, where he would sit out this past season with the redshirt. 1-0. Fastball right across Broadway, evens the count, 1-1. Reason he sat out this past season after his redshirt year was because he transferred in from Hill College. Watches the 1-1 go by. That one a breaking ball wide, 2-1. Two-one offering. That's a fastball in there for a strike. It evens the count 2-2. At Hill College, he would have a lot of success. Would be 6th in the nation in all of JUCO baseball with 22 home runs. 2-2 pitch finds the inside corner, and he's rung up. The third strikeout of the night for Nick Parr as Caleb Dean goes down looking at a fastball that runs inside. Jack Dunn, the shortstop, digs in now for the Lakeshore Chinooks. Last night, Jack Dunn would go 0 for 3. The right-handed hitter stands in, and Parr, wasting no time, sends one to him. A pop-up way in the infield. Second baseman Ben Hart underneath of it, staring right into the sun, but he's got the shades on and gets underneath of it for the second out. 2 up, 2 down, just like that. And Daniel DeSimone, the first baseman, digs in. DeSimone on the season for the Chinooks, batting .283 coming into this series out of Oklahoma State. Would redshirt this past season. Watch the first one go by for a strike. 89 from Nick Parr. Parr dealing here early. We'll see if he can continue. 0-1. Breaking ball that time. That runs high and inside across the chest where the Lakeshore Chinooks are supporting their all grays tonight with Chinooks etched across the chest in black. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, fouled away left side. And so he goes down the count now 1-2. Daniel DeSimone back in high school would manage to bat 500 in high school and was named an All-West Region first-team All-American. Right-handed batter stands in 1-2 to him. A fastball that skips across the plate in the dirt, 2-2. Of course, got to say dirt tonight. Of course, if you tuned into the broadcast last night, the Lakeshore Chinooks and the Green Bay Bullfrogs playing on a turf field as Capco Park, all turf. 2-2, runs high and inside, a 3-2 count now. The only team in the South Division to support the turf field. Of course, the Lacrosse Loggers up in the North Division support a turf field as well. Payoff pitch. Breaking ball that just misses the outside corner. Nice pitch from the righty and Nick Parr. He thought he had grabbed himself another strikeout, but instead it's the first batter that he's walked all game. He's done a solid job of getting ahead in the count here tonight. In fact, we talked about last night, one of the success is for the Green Bay Bullfrog, Michael Bolke, who got the start last night and would pitch 8 complete, was that he got ahead in the count. He threw strikes and let his defense make plays behind him, and the Bullfrogs were an out away from grabbing a victory. I'm sure they'll try to use the same formula tonight. Tim Dalporto, the catcher, digs in, swings at the first one he sees, and fouls it away right side past that concession stand, and it's an 0-1 count. Nick Parr toes the rubber again, and Dalporto, the catcher, awaits. Right-handed hitter. 0-1 to him. Swung on and fouled away right side as well. An 0-2 count now. Tim Dalporto out of Kent State. Of course, teammates with Brad Hamilton and Connor Wallersheim. As last night, the Chinooks managed the Kent State battery. Starting pitcher last night for the Chinooks from Kent State. Of course, the Bullfrogs ace is out of Kent State as well. That being Connor Wallersheim. 0-2 pitch runs low in the dirt, 1-2. I think something to note, both teams really using pitchers that are from Kent State. And with that being said, they bring something different to the mound that you don't see from everybody. They're guys that don't waste any time out up there on the mound. They use tempo, tempo, tempo. 1-2 pitch runs low in the dirt, 2-2. So you almost wonder if whether or not that's something Kent State looks for in high school guys or whether that's something that they teach and mold their pitchers. Whenever Connor Wallersheim, of course, on the mound, it's normally going to be less than a 3-hour game, that's for sure. I mean, the guy deals them in one after another. 2-2 pitch, swung on a line drive to right. That gets into the corner. Rounding second is the runner who was over at first, and Daniel DeSimone, and he gets over to third safely, and Tim Dalporto able to get to second. It's a double for Dalporto, sending that one way into the corner of the liney's deck. Nothing Tanner Poole can do but throw it back in and hope for the best. So with 2 outs on the board, 2 runners on here now for the Lakeshore Chinooks as Nick Parr finds himself a bit into a bind after starting the day off solidly. Tim Dalporto, the catcher, now standing over at second off of his double. DeSimone takes the lead from third. He got on off of the walk. And Drake Lubin, the 9-hole hitter, digs in. First pitch to him, a check swing, fouls it away right side, 0-1. Almost swinging there defensively as the fastball's way high and inside, 0-1. Lubin last night for the Lakeshore Chinooks would not find himself in the lineup. Back in the lineup tonight. 0-1 delivery. Breaking ball, nice pitch from Parr there. A curve that breaks way back inside. 0-2 now. He's ahead in the count. Lubin digs in. The 9-hole hitter awaits. And Nick Parr comes set. The 0-2. Fastball low and inside. 89 from the righty out of Oakland. 1-2 now. Drake Lubin out of Eastern Michigan. So far on the season for the Chinooks, batting .291. But has really been struggling here recently. In his last 10 games, batting just .095. The 1-2. Breaking ball. Swung on and missed. Nick Parr leaves 2 stranded at second and third and grabs his 4th strikeout of the night. That'll do it for the top of the second. Stay tuned for the bottom half. The Bullfrogs lead 1-0. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network.
Do you feel like you're paying too much for your medication? Stop in at O'Connell Pharmacy and see our pharmacist, Ron Poom, about our cost minimization program. We can save you some money. The O'Connell Pharmacy, our family helping your family.
We all want to be self-sufficient, whether it's fixing projects at home, whether it's changing the oil on the car, or maybe even keeping your checkbook balanced. But when it comes to income taxes, trust me, you don't want to do it yourself. You don't want to do it with someone that just does it 3 months a year as a little sideline job. You need to work with a proactive 24/7 CPA firm that can actually get you results and keep more money in your pocket. Pick up the phone today, 715-735-0583.
This is Larry Fitzgerald with Game Day Goal. Tune in to WOCO FM 107.1 Fridays at 6 p.m. to hear me and Eric Nelson discuss the sports topics of the day.
Hello and welcome back to Joe Annie Stadium. Bottom of the second, about to get underway, and the Bullfrogs have a 1-0 lead over the Lakeshore Chinooks. It comes off the bat of Alex Pinner, who manages that RBI single in the bottom of the first. The Bullfrogs, of course, leading the Chinooks here currently. Last night would lose to this same team in Lakeshore, the first time that they actually lost on the road at Capco Park. The Bullfrogs were 3-0 previously coming into that game. However, they can't manage the victory over the Chinooks last night, losing off of a 2-out, 2-run home run from Jacob Richardson. With that being said, back up to the top of the lineup here in the top of, we are in the bottom of the second, and Ben Hart, the second baseman, digs in. First pitch to him is a fastball from the right-handed pitcher in Dakota Matoxen. The righty out of Memphis deals one in. It finds the lower portion, and it's a 0-1 count. 0-1. Fastball swung on and missed. Ben Hart goes down in the count. 0-2. Hart stands in, waves his bat around. Right-handed pitcher in Matoxen deals. The 0-2 pitch swung on and missed. Strike 3. The second strikeout of the night for Matoxen, and Tanner Poole, the right fielder, will dig in. was able to talk with Tanner Poole before yesterday's game about the Super Regionals. Of course, he plays for Mississippi State. The Bulldogs this past season would make it all the way to the Super Regionals before being knocked down. He talked about how he wished they could have stuck around for the World Series, but with injuries and whatnot, the Mississippi State Bulldogs would have their struggles, and really a lot of teams and journalists and whatnot didn't think that the Bulldogs had a shot. 1-0 delivery. Swung on a liner into center. Tracking back is Drake Lubin, but he's not going to get there. That bounces a couple of times off the warning track and hits the wall. Tanner Poole rounding first, and he's going to get to second, standing up easily. It's a double for Tanner Poole. And now Zach Plunkett, the catcher, will dig in and look to try to bring in another run for the Bullfrogs. Tanner Poole with a liner out there that's all the way out into right center field. Drake Lubin off the bat looked like he might have a shot on it, but then it just kept on traveling. And I think it even got caught in the wind, as it's a windy day in here, Joe Annie Stadium, going way to the right. And so that might have affected the ball a bit, as Lubin off the bat looked like he had a nice read on it, but then has to start sprinting and try to catch up with it. He can't. Rolls all the way to the wall, and Tanner Poole looked like he was even interested in trying to make it a three-bagger, but he'll settle for two and take a lead. Zach Plunkett watches the one go by for a strike, and he's down the count 0-1. Plunkett, the catcher out of the University of Arkansas, watches the 0-1 go by, and that's a curveball high and inside, about neck level, 1-1. It's Tanner Poole's sixth double of the year, which is good for third best on the team. One. Swing and a miss. Plunkett goes down the count 1-2. Just as a reminder, as always, you can follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Just look up Green Bay Bullfrogs. You can get by inning updates and all sorts of different videos on Facebook and Twitter as well. 1-2 pitch swung on a slow grounder left side. The third baseman scoops it up and throws it to first, and it's in time, 2 away. A slow grounder to Jacob Richardson. Running to his left, scoops it up, stares down Tanner Poole at second to make sure he's not going anywhere, and then launches it across the field. Zach Plunkett out by about 3 or 4 steps, wasn't close. Mikey Falia, the center fielder, now digs in. He would manage to work the walk back in the first inning and stole second base, and then came around to score off of an Alex Pinner RBI single. Mikey Falia digs in, first one to him. Fastball swung on, fouled away right side. Up and past that concession stand area and almost towards the parking lot that sits just beyond the stadium here. And it's an 0-1 count. Righty in Matoxin deals in the 0-1. Breaking ball. That one runs inside about shin level of the righty in Falia. 1-1. Was expected to be a pretty large crowd here in Green Bay. By no means is it empty here on this Sunday afternoon, but there are some empty seats. The 1-1. Fastball that runs wide, 2-1 here. About first pitch, there definitely weren't all that many people here. I don't know if they were getting some refreshments or where they were, but a solid crowd has formed here in the stands and in the club seating, and even the Bud Light Beach Club out and left relatively full. 2-1 delivery. Fastball that runs low, and Mikey Falia ahead in the count now, 3-1. He managed to work the walk back his first time up after he would foul away 3 or 4 balls. The righty out of UC Irvine digs in. He's looking for an RBI here. Tanner Poole's in scoring position at second, takes the lead. Matoxin deals in the 3-1. Fastball right over the plate. A full count now. Falia steps out, looks at his signs from his all-star third base coach, Chris Sabo. Falia digs in. He awaits. Matoxin trying to get out of the inning, leaving one stranded. The payoff runs low for ball 4, and Falia grabs himself another walk. Puts 2 runners on now. for Riley Smith, the shortstop who, as I mentioned briefly earlier in the broadcast, has been lights out for the Bullfrogs in all facets of the game. Has the speed to steal, has the ability to get on base, and his fielding recently for the Bullfrogs has been something to marvel. The right-handed hitter in his last 10 games batting .378. Opportunity to tack on a couple RBIs here if he can manage a base hit. Watches a fastball that runs low and gets ahead in the count 1-0. The Bullfrogs lead the Chinooks here 1-0 in the bottom of the second inning. Latoxin, the right-handed pitcher, checks the runner at second and deals in the 1-0. Swung on. It's a fly ball deep to right center. The right fielder underneath of it, however, and he makes the grab. Caleb Dean easily grabs that one running back and makes the over-the-shoulder grab. Wasn't the easiest of fly balls by any means, but Caleb Dean makes it seem easy. Bullfrogs leave 2 runners stranded for the second straight inning, but they hold on to a 1-0 lead. Stay tuned for the top of the third. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Stay tuned.
Is the frozen pizza that you're eating at home tired and worn out? It just doesn't have its stuff anymore. Its toppings are low and inside while the cheese is chin music. The time has come, friends, to make the switch. Make the call to the Brew Pub Bullpen. Bring in the relief and get the win with Brew Pub Lots of Matzo pizzas. Made with premium toppings, then smothered in over half a pound of fresh 100% Wisconsin-made mozzarella cheese, Brew Pub Lots of Matzo pizzas are the ingredients for a great time. Find us online at brewpubpizza.com, on Facebook at Brew Pub Pizza, or follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Brew Pub Pizza. Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizza, the ingredients for a great time.
American Lodge and Suites Green Bay West is the ideal location for your next stay, whether you're traveling for business or pleasure. They are proud to provide the amenities you want most and deliver them at the highest level possible, starting with comfortable, quieter guest rooms. Welcome to genuine American hospitality.
$100 gift card. Try City Glass and Door.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne Stadium here, top of the third, about to get underway. The Bullfrogs have a 1-0 lead over the Lakeshore Chinooks. Nick Parr still out on the mound for the Bullfrogs. Before the game, I was told it was supposed to be a pitching staff day where we might see multiple guys. However, Nick Parr has pitched well through 2, so they're going to stick with him. First pitch that Matthew Micah sees is a ball that runs low, 1-0. Matthew Micah, the second baseman, his first time up, would be the first strikeout victim of Nick Parr. He's got 4 tonight. Check swings at the 1-0. Did he go around? Yes, he did. Appeal to the first base umpire. He says, oh yeah, he went around, and it's a 1-1 count now. Matthew Micah out of Central Florida on the season has just been hot, batting .350. Swings at the 1-1, popped up behind home plate. Zach Plunkett tracking over, and I think that lands right above the press box here. You might even heard it on your screens at home as that one made some noise. With that being said, Micah goes down the count, 1-2 now. No outs on the board. Micah, the second baseman, swings at the 1-2 pitch. It's a blooper to third. The throw to first in time for the first out. It's a little choppy and grounder to forward, grabs it. It's not the prettiest of throws to first. A little bit off of the bag. Alex Pinner able to make the grab. His foot was on the bag before the runner came across, and he also went and swiped at the runner, and when he tagged him, the ball came out of his glove, but umpire points down to the bag saying that the out was made before the tag was applied. Head coach for the Lakeshore Chinooks, who's also the third base coach tonight, having a word with the first base umpire. That's Eddie Morgan, who's in his 6th season with the Lakeshore Chinooks, has managed a solid career for the Chinooks. 170 and 123 all-time record. was named the manager of the year and won a championship in 2014. He's the coach at Concordia University, so he's pretty familiar with, of course, Capco Park. That's where Capco Park stands on the campus of Concordia University. First pitch that Joe Duncan sees, grounded left side foul, 0-1. So an out on the board after the 5-3 out and a little bit of a discussion that has now come to a close. We're here in the top of the third inning where the Bullfrogs lead 1-0. 0-1 to Duncan. Fastball that runs high, a 1-1 count now. Joe Duncan has the lone hit of the day that came back in the first. They have two now as Tim Dalporto managed one back in the second. 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed, 1-2. Duncan would manage a liner to right field it back in the first and then stole second as well. He would be stranded there. Bullfrogs have already stranded 3 runners tonight, and we're only here in the top of the third. The 1-2 delivery, swung on, popped up foul. Running over is the third baseman and the catcher over on that left side, but it bounces out of play. And a 1-2 count, Duncan falls behind. Joe Duncan this season batting .300, has managed a home run over against the Bullfrogs this season. And his last 10 games has been unbelievable. Batting .372, has managed 3 home runs, 10 RBIs, and 16 hits. On a hot streak. As mentioned last night, would manage a multi-hit day and would be the only Bullfrog that managed the only Chinook, I should say, that managed a multi-hit day against the Madison Mallards in their 10-0 loss 2 days ago. Nick Bard sends in the 1-2, swung on a well-hit ball deep, tracking Troy Johnson at the warning track, makes the grab. 2 up, 2 down here to start off the top of the third. Will bring up Nick Gatewood. A well-hit liner deep into left field there by Joe Duncan. But Troy Johnson out there in left, he's got the speed to cover a lot of ground and gets underneath that one for the second out. Nick Gatewood, the all-star catcher and tonight designated hitter, stands in. Struck out his first time up. Nick Bard deals him a fastball wide. Last time Nick Gatewood was here in Green Bay, managed a grand slam in the top of the 9th inning. 1-0 delivery, swung on and fouled back left side. A 1-1 count now. Gatewood has really just had an unreal season for this Chinook team. Coming into the series against the Bullfrogs, he had a pretty good batting average, you could say. .338, in fact. Just finished up his sophomore season at Georgia State as the 9th best batting average in the league. Watches another one go by for a ball. The 1-2 delivery to him. Fastball that runs wide, 90 miles per hour from the right-handed pitcher, Nick Parr. And he's down the count here, 3-1. Gatewood led his Georgia State team in batting average with .319. 3-1 delivery. Swung on and fouled away into the dugout of the Bullfrogs. Hopefully everyone's okay down there. All the coaches got up to kind of look to make sure they're all right. They're all smiling and joking around, so they must be okay. Of course, all smiles here as the Bullfrogs lead 1-0 in the top of the third. Payoff pitch to Gatewood. Swung on. That one's fouled away. Gatewood fighting to stay alive. Nick Gatewood, a Georgia guy through and through, grew up in Duluth. Only got just limited playing time during his freshman campaign, but a breakout season this past year, and has had a breakout Northwoods League season as well. Payoff pitch, swung on, grounded up the middle of the field. Riley Smith can't make the play, and that'll be an E6. Riley Smith there to put the mid on it. Did everything right besides the fact that he didn't have it in his glove. It's grounded right up the middle of the field, straight to the second base bag. Should have been a ground out. Riley Smith running over to his left, scoots down to pick it up. However, can't put the glove on it. It kind of nips off the end of his glove and rolls further back towards center field. And in fact, Riley Smith, so frustrated with himself, continues the motion as if he had the ball in his hand. Fakes a throw to first, almost as if to say, yeah, I know, if I had the ball in my hand right now, you'd be out. However, a 1-0 count now with 2 outs on the board. Gatewood takes the lead over at first. Jacob Richardson stands in after watching a ball go by, gets ahead in the count 1-0. The 1-0 pitch, that one runs wide. And so a 2-0 count now. With 2 outs on the board, the Chinooks have a runner at first. Jacob Richardson's last night hero stands in and awaits. The 2-0 to him. Fastball that runs low, and now Richardson ahead in the count 3-0. Nick Parr having a little trouble finding the strike zone. Got behind in the count against Gatewood as well. Jacob Richardson, his last time up, would pop up to third, and he watches the 4th pitch go by for a ball. All of those going by for balls as well. And so 2 runners on now with 2 outs on the board. They got 2 base runners after the Bullfrogs managed 2 outs. And the Bullfrogs think that they should be out of the inning. Of course, Nick Gatewood gets on off of an E6 that should have put the Chinooks down in order. So runners at first and second, and Caleb Dean, the right fielder, digs in. He would strike out looking his last time up and watches a 90-mile-per-hour dart go right over the plate. 0-1. Nick Parr comes set. Deals in the 0-1. Breaking ball. That's in there. 0-2. All sorts of different fans here at the game tonight. And, of course, I saw some Lakeshore fans show up. Of course, as you can imagine, a lot of Bullfrogs fans, but there's actually some Madison Mallards gear going on here as well. 0-2 pitch, so 1 gone and missed. Make it 5 strikeouts on the night for Nick Parr as he gets Caleb Dean for the 2nd time in this one. That'll do it for the top of the 3rd inning. Stay tuned for the bottom half. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Stay tuned.
It's the best time of the year to update your ride. NEW Credit Union's Super Summer Loan Sale. From July 10th to 28th, get super low rates as low as 2.49% annual percentage rate.
To jumpstart the big event, from July 10th to the 16th, you can find your perfect car, truck, or SUV from a selection brought in by trusted local dealers right to our credit union offices in O'Connell Falls, Oconto, and Surrey. Compare them side by side, or you can also visit a participating dealer and see their expanded selection.
Call NEW Credit Union for details at 800-924-1250. That's 800-924-1250. Get up to 100% financing during the Super Summer Loan Sale.
Borrower must meet NEW Credit Union membership eligibility and creditworthy requirements. All loans subject to approval. Example of repayment would be a monthly payment of about $17.75 per $1,000 borrowed for 60 months. Federally insured by the NCUA. Super Summer Loan Sale at NEW Credit Union. Get ready to own it!
Hello and welcome back to Joanne Stadium here, bottom of the 3rd inning, about to get underway. The Bullfrogs have a 1-0 lead over the Lakeshore Chinooks here at Joanne Stadium. Still out on the mound for the Lakeshore Chinooks will be Dakota Matoxin, the right-handed pitcher out of Memphis University, having a pretty good day. Has allowed just 2 hits. However, the Bullfrogs have managed to get a run across against them. Matoxin so far in the night has dealt in 2 strikeouts. He's going to look for a couple more here in the 3rd. 2 up for the Bullfrogs, and this one will be the 3-4-5 hitters. Troy Johnston, Alex Pinner, and Kyle Bino. Troy Johnson, the left fielder, digs in. His first time up would pop up to the 3rd baseman.
And at the Bullfrogs, number 2, left fielder Troy Johnston.
Johnson, the left-handed hitter out of Gonzaga, digs in. First pitch to him. A fastball that runs wide, a 1-0 count. Troy Johnson this past season for the Gonzaga Bulldogs would have a great year during his freshman campaign, batting .323. 1-0 pitch runs wide, and he's ahead in the count now, 2-0. On the season for the Bullfrogs, Johnston batting .252. Has been a bright spot in the lineup, has managed 34 hits on the season. On the active roster, that's good for second best. Only behind Alex Pinner. 2-0 pitch runs wide, but just nips the outside black. And so a 2-1 count now. No outs on the board, nobody on. Just got underway with the bottom of the third here in Joannes. 2-1 pitch, swung on, a grounder to the first baseman. He's got it and will beat down Troy Johnson in a foot race to the first base bag for the first out. Daniel DeSimone playing first base tonight for the Lakeshore Chinooks. And so one away. And talking about the hit leader, Alex Pinner digs in. 37 hits on the year. And has played in 38 games, which is good for most on the team. Pinner on the year, 8 doubles, 3 home runs, 13 RBIs, and 31 walks. That one good for best on the team as well. Leads this team in many statistical categories. In fact, also leads the team in strikeouts, however, with 47. Watches one go by for a ball low. And watches another one go by low. So a 2-0 count here with an out on the board. Nobody on. Bottom of the third. Pinner stands in at a Scottsdale Community College. The 2-0 him runs way high. 3-0. Pinner, a guy that really had to adjust to the Northwoods League to start off the year in his first night for the Bullfrogs. Would manage a 2-run shot and then would kind of go in a bit of a skid, at times even batting below .220. But since then, here recently just has been hot. Watches the 3-0 pitch run low, and that's ball 4. Make that now 32 walks on the season. Good, way best on the team. In fact, 10 better than the next player that has played in 37 games, that being Ben Hart. Ben Hart in the hole currently, as Kyle Benio, the designated hitter, is due up. He digs in. His last time up was hit by a pitch square in the helmet. Was conked right in the head. First pitch to Benio, a fastball that runs low. And it's 1-0 count. Now Benio digs back in. 4 home runs on the season, the best on the team. Watches a breaking ball run way high and inside. I think that one would have hit him right in the head as well if he doesn't duck. Toxin, the right-handed pitcher, comes set. Checks the runner at first and Pinner and deals in the 2-0. That one runs high. Having a hard time finding the strike zone here in this one. Of course, would throw 4 straight strikes to Alex Pinner. And now behind the count 3-0. So 7 straight balls here in the bottom of the third inning. Pinner takes the lead at first. Matoxin comes set, kicks the leg, sends in the 3-0 fastball that finds the corner. There's a strike for Matoxin. And a 3-1 count now. Kyle Benio out of Youngstown State will be in Wausau, Wisconsin come the next couple of days for the All-Star game, or rather the Home Run Derby. 3-1 pitch, so one gone and missed. Full count now. The lone Bullfrog that will be in Wausau now, as for the first time on the Northwood League Web Pass, we share the news with you that Brad Hamilton's season with the Bullfrogs has come to a close. Hamilton would injured himself in the past game at Joannes Stadium, and they re-signed Trent Bauer, catcher out of Ellsworth. Payoff pitch, so one gone and missed. There's another strikeout for Dakota Matoxin. Matoxin now with 3 strikeouts on the night, and Kyle Benio 0 for 1. After striking out there, and Dan Leckie, the third baseman, will dig in. Leckie, his last time up, would pop up to the second baseman. Dan Leckie out of Lafayette College, which is in the Patriot League. The right-handed hitter out of Sufflin in Connecticut. Swings at the first one he sees it pop up way high and wide. Down the stadium right side.
Another full ball. ball brought to you by Tri-City Glass Indoor.
So he goes down in the count 0-1. Alex Pinner waiting patiently over at first. He's ready to take off. Dan Leckie this past season would manage to hit .291 for Lafayette College, 18 RBIs, but would suffer a season-ending injury late this past year during his sophomore campaign. Watches one go by for a ball, and we have an even count now. A ball and a strike with 2 outs on the board. The 1-1 swung on, lined up the middle of the field, and nobody can get there. That's going to be a base hit for the third baseman. And with 2 outs on the board, the Bullfrogs with a little bit of life. It's the Bullfrogs' just third hit of the night. Coming off the bat of course, Dan Leckie, who now stands in over at first. Alex Pinner moves for the second, and Ben Hart, the second baseman, digs in. Ben Hart on this season has played in 37 games, good for second most on the team. Watches the first one go by low, 1-0. Ben Hart out of Oakland University's teammates with tonight's starting pitchers for the Bullfrogs. Nick Parr, a right-handed hitter away, struck out his last time up swinging. 1-0 to him. That one's low and in the dirt. Has to, in fact, raise his leg to avoid being hit by that one. And he gets ahead in the count here, 2-0. Matoxin having a hard time getting ahead in the count here in this third after pitching a solid inning in the second. Matoxin comes set. The right-handed pitcher out of Memphis steals in the 2-0. That one swung on and missed. 1-2. Ben Hart supporting a black bat tonight. I think that's the first time we've seen that this season. He must have went on and bought himself one. We'll see if it has any effect on his swing. Of course, struck out his last time up. See what happens when he makes contact. 2-1 runs high, and he is ahead of the count, 3-1. Ben Hart, of course, is one of those guys that also normally shows up to Joanne Stadium early to take some extra swings. Wanted to break in the new bat before today's game. 3-1 pitch. Fastball swung on, lined away right side over towards the third base coach, Chris Sabo, who gives his best late and dodges it. And with 2 outs on the board, a full count now to Ben Hart for balls and 2 strikes. Tanner Poole standing on deck for the Bullfrogs. Of course, he managed the double his last time up. Matoxin deals in the payoff, runs high for ball 4, and the bases are juiced. Ben Hart over at first now, Dan Leckie at second, and Alex Pinner at third. Tanner Poole, the right fielder out of Mississippi State, will now dig in. Managed a double back in the second inning with nobody on. We'll see what he can do here with the bases loaded. Matoxin in a bit of a jam, and the coach for the Chinooks has elected to start warming someone up in the pen now for his Lakeshore team. A lefty warming up there out on the bullpen now for the Lakeshore Chinooks. Tanner Poole watches one go by for a strike. Matoxin trying to get out of the jam. 0-1 delivery. Breaking ball, that's in there. A nice curve from Matoxin. And an 0-2 count now. Tanner Poole behind. Tanner Poole this past season would post 47 starts for the Mississippi State Bulldogs. 0-2. Breaking ball right across the plate. Tanner Poole absolutely fooled. Knees buckling, and Dakota Matoxin deals in a backwards K to leave the bases loaded. The Bullfrogs have now left 7 runners stranded in this one, and we've only been through 3 innings. Stay tuned for the top of the 4th inning. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Stay tuned.
If you don't know everything about insurance, you'll profit from the knowledge and experience at the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, 113 North Main Street, downtown Oconto Falls. You'll benefit from their thorough analysis of the insurance that you really need. They'll recommend the companies and policies that are the best for you. At the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, they specialize in complete coverage of all your insurance needs. Call the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, 113 North Main Street, downtown Oconto Falls.
Attention pizza lovers, have you tried a brew pub pizza? Designed to be the best of the best pub pizzas ever made, every brew pub Lots Matza pizza is made with your favorite premium meats and veggies and topped with over a half pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Brew pub Lots Matza pizzas are made right here in Wisconsin. Brew pub Lots Matza pizzas are available at your local grocer and tavern. Check Brew Pub Pizzas out at facebook.com/brewpubpizza and get more details at brewpubpizza.com. Brew pub Lots Matza pizzas, official frozen pizza of the Green Bay Bullfrogs.
Hello and welcome back to Joe Annie Stadium. Top of the fourth inning about to get underway. Nick Parr still out on the mound for the Bullfrogs. He's pitched a pretty good game so far, you could say. The right-handed pitcher of Oakland University has already dealt in 5 strikeouts on the night and has also left a grand total of 5 runners stranded. Jack Dunn due up for the Lakeshore Chinooks here. The shortstop, his last time up, would pop up to second base. Daniel DeSimone on deck and Tim Dalporto, the 8-hole hitter, is in the hole. Jack Dunn digs in, first pitch to him. A curved ball from Nick Parr that finds the inside corner, and it's an 0-1 count. Nick Parr wasting no time, sends in the 0-1. It's a changeup that runs low in the dirt, and it's a 1-1 count now with nobody on and no outs on the board. Just got underway with the top of the fourth, excuse me. The 1-1 pitch runs high. Jack Dunn swings at it and just gets the bottom part of the ball, fouling it straight back. 1-2. 1-2 delivery. Fastball way inside, and Jack Dunn is hit by a 88-mile-per-hour fastball square between the numbers. I think Dunn's okay. He runs over to first, and now he's kind of joking around with his first base coach there. I mean, that's got to be painful. He's rubbing his back down, kind of tosses his Evo shield to his first base coach and gets a high five. I think he's going to be okay. It's the first batter that the Bullfrogs have hit tonight, and they give up a free base. Jack Dunn over at first, and Daniel DeSimone digs in. Swings at the first pitch he sees, a fly ball deep to right. Tracking back is Tanner Poole and can't make the grab at the wall. Rounding second is the runner that got all the way to his first off of the hit by pitch, and Jack Dunn, and he slides in safely to third, and DeSimone slides in safely at second. A double for Daniel DeSimone, and the base runners at second and third now. And with no outs on the board, the Bullfrogs are going to warm up a pitcher out in the bullpen. So righty out there warming up here early. The Bullfrogs in a jam. No outs on the board, and Tim Dalporto, the catcher, digs in. Curveball into Dalporto, finds the inside corner. 0-1. A 1 delivery from Parr. Swung on and fouled away right side. He gets ahead in the count, 0-2.
Another full ball brought to you by Tri-City Glass and Door. Call 920-468-7820.
Nick Parr, the right-handed pitcher out of Oakland, trying to get his Bullfrogs team out of a jam. Coming into the game, he would have his struggles, just a 1-4 record and a 7.93 ERA. The 0-2 pitch swung on and fouled away left side over towards Jack Dunn, who has a lead over at third base. Dunn has to actually jump out of the way of that one to avoid being hit. And so an 0-2 count now. Nick Parr ahead, looking for a strikeout. The 0-2. That one runs low in the dirt and nearly gets away from the catcher, Zach Plunkett. It does, but it takes a friendly bounce. Plunkett able to go run over and pick it up without the runner advancing. So a 1-2 count now after the curveball that skipped across home plate. Tim Dalporto last night would go 0 for 3 against the Bullfrogs. He's batting just 176 on the season. Did manage a double his last time up in the second inning, however. The 1-2 pitch swung on, popped foul straight past the press box here.
Another full ball
Count remains 1-2. Cal Portel has fouled off 3 pitches now. Now Porto, a junior at Kent State, stands in from LaGrange, Illinois. Waves his lumber around, gives it a couple of swings, and waits for the offering from Parr. Now gets a sign he likes from Plunkett and comes set. Deals in the 1-2. Fastball, check swing, it's wide. Evens the count, 2-2. That curveball from Parr there. That just missed the outside black. Nick Parr comes set. Deals in the 2-2. And a fastball low, and it's a full count now after Nick Parr was ahead in the count, 0-2. Bullfrogs desperately looking for a strikeout here to try to hold on to their 1-0 lead. We're here in the top of the 4th inning. Nick Parr comes set. Payoff pitch. Swung on. Fly ball to center. Tracking over is Falia. He's going to make the grab on the run. The throw from center. Not going to be on target. A run comes across, and it gets away from the catcher, but the runner and D. Simone's going to stay over at third. That ties up the game, 1-1. A solid attempt of a throw from Mikey Falia there out in center. On the run, it makes the grab. Crew hops and throws it in. It's just not quite on target. It'll be a sacrifice fly RBI for Tim Dow Portel. Jack Dunn comes across and scores for the Lakeshore Chinooks. And Drake Lubin, the center fielder, digs in. Lubin struck out his last time up. Nick Parr now with 1 out on the board, trying to hold on to a tie. As the Bullfrogs give up the lead, we're tied up 1-1. But the Lakeshore Chinooks not done. Bullfrogs infield playing just off of the infield grass. Trying to hold that runner at third. 1 out on the board. The 1-0 pitch runs wide, and Nick Parr goes down the count, 2-0. Pitcher that was warming up in the pen now for the Bullfrogs is no longer warming up. 2-0 delivery. Fastball swung on, a slicer in a shallow center. Falia is there for the grab. The runner tags up. The throw from center is not going to be in time, only because the runner elects not to come across. A much-needed pop-up there from Nick Parr. And despite the fact that a run has come across, Nick Parr has given his Bullfrogs a shot here. Now with 2 outs on the board, the infielders will move to their normal positions. Matthew Micah, the leadoff man and second baseman, digs in. Watches a breaking ball run wide, 1-0. Matthew Micah 0 for 2 on the night. Struck out in the first and grounded out to third the last time up. Takes a huge swing at a fastball and misses. He was trying to send that one into the tennis courts. Way past out in left field at Green Bay East High School. A 1-1 pitch. That one runs low. And a 2-1 count now. 2 outs on the board. A runner at third and Daniel D. Simone. The Chinooks have tied it up as Jack Dunn came across to score off of a Tim Dow Porto sac fly RBI. 2-1 pitch is swung on, a fly ball in foul territory out there in the parking lot. Hits a car. Hopefully it wasn't a windshield. If it was, well, call Tri-City Glass and Door. 2-2 pitch. That runs high and inside. Nick Parr thought that was strike number 3, and he was going to get out of the jam. However, it runs high and inside and a full count now. Nick Parr not quite out of it yet. Full count with 2 outs on the board. Runner at third. The payoff. Breaking ball that runs way high and inside. Hits the batter square in the back. Matthew Micah gets on base due to a hit by pitch. And now runners on the corners with 2 outs on the board. Joe Duncan, the left fielder, digs in as we approach the meat of this lineup for the Chinooks. We're tied up 1-1 here. Bullfrogs trying to leave 2 runners stranded. Both Games with 3 hits on the day. Nick Parr stares down Duncan and deals in a fastball that runs high and inside. Having a hard time finding the strike zone now after starting off the day, peppering it. So a 1-0 count now to Joe Duncan, the Eastern Illinois junior. This past season would finish second on his Eastern Illinois team with .331 batting average and 84 hits. That number good for 12th best in the nation. The 1-0 finds the inside corner. Park gets one back, and it evens it up 1-1. Joe Duncan managed 9 home runs, 18 stolen bases as well. That number good for 5th most in school history. Was named All-Ohio Valley Conference second team. Throw back to first, and the runner gets back safely. That's Matthew Micah over there, and first got on due to the hit by pitch. 1-1 delivery, fastball wide and low, and a 2-1 count now. Frogs in a jam, trying to stay in this game. Granted, it's early, but with the way the Frogs have played this season, any lead matters. 2-1 count. That one finds the corner. 2-2, or even a tie ball game matters. Bullfrogs have got to stay in the game for them to get late into the game. Of course, they struggle once they go to their bullpen. 2-2 count from Park coming. The delivery. Breaking ball just misses the inside black. A curveball from Parr, and for the second time in this one, he thinks that the 2-2 pitch is in there for a strike. However, it misses inside. A payoff pitch. Runner off from first. Swung on, popped up, foul territory. Tracking over his Lecky in the bullpen of the Chinooks, and he makes the grab. Good play from the third baseman. Has to maneuver around a couple of different mounds over there on the warm-up mounds, but he's able to get underneath of it and grab it, leaving 2 stranded. That'll do it for the 4th inning. The Chinooks tie it up, though, 1-1, moving into the bottom of the 4th inning. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network.
Tri-City Glass and Doors, locally owned and family operated, and has been since 1960. Specializing in commercial glass projects and automotive glass repair. Having grown up right here in Northeast Wisconsin, Tri-City understands your needs and wants to be the residential glass and door professionals you can count on. They're here for your family in all of life stages, from building an addition on your home for your newborn to applying Aquapel to your new driver's car. Additionally, they are locally owned, so there's no hoops to jump through. You can call them or come in at any time to talk directly to one of their glass and door experts.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Wisconsin. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back to Green Bay, Wisconsin, here at Joe Aney Stadium. Bottom of the 4th inning, about to get underway. New pitcher out on the mound for the Lakeshore Chinooks as Dakota Metoxen's day has come to a close. Metoxen would pitch 3 innings, allow 3 hits, 1 run, 4 walks, and struck out 4. New pitcher out on the mound will be Marshall Oting. Oting, the left-handed pitcher, so a bit of a change. Oting out of Concordia, Montana. Is that what MO is? Is Montana MO? We're going to go with that. Montana. I can't even say it. Out of Concordia, Missouri, in fact. Oh, that's easier to say anyway. What is Montana then? MN? That's Minnesota, isn't it? Well, it's Missouri. MO is Missouri. And so, nonetheless, it's a new pitcher, the left-handed pitcher. Out of Concordia University. The junior plays for Concordia Ann Arbor. Left-handed pitcher stands about 5'11", 190. Deals the first one in, and it finds the zone. A one delivery, that one runs fine, and so a 1-1 count here. We're tied up 1-1 in the bottom of the fourth inning. Zach Plunkett, the 9-hole hitter, watches the 1-1 pitch, run wide and low, and is ahead in the count 2-1. Zach Plunkett, the last time up, would ground down to third. The Bullfrogs already on the night have left 7 runners stranded. Plunkett watches another one go by, that one finding the zone. A 2-2 count. Swung on, line drive up the middle of the field, base hit for Zach Plunkett. A well-hit ball, and it's the 4th hit of the night for the Bullfrogs. Zach Plunkett getting a hold of that one. A well-hit ball from the catcher. And Drake Lubin can't do anything but just scoop it up, as it is a perfectly placed ball up the middle of the field. Nice frozen rope. And with no outs on the board, back up to the top of the lineup, Mikey Falia digs in. Falia, the catcher on the day, has been walked twice. Came around to score back in the first as well. First pitch to him. A breaking ball that runs low, 1-0. Mikey Falia steps out, gives a practice swing, and now stands back in. Oting deals it in, and it's a fastball that misses, and Falia ahead in the count now, 2-0. Oting sends in the 2-0, swung on and grounded to first. Throw to second in time, and he's able to get the leadoff runner. However, the throw is not back to second, as the first baseman, Daniel DeSimone, was thinking 2 there. Grabs the ball right next to the first base bag. I think he might have had time to step on that bag and throw it to second for the double play. Instead, he elects to throw to second and try to get one back. However, the throw to second's a little off target, and Jack Dunn, the shortstop, has to kind of awkwardly touch his foot on the second base bag to make sure Plunkett's out. There's no throw back to first. And so one away after the fielder's choice, Falia takes a lead over at first. Riley Smith, the shortstop, digs in and watches one go by for a ball. 1-0 count here. One out on the board. Falia over at first. Riley Smith on the day is 0 for 2. Left-handed pitcher deals in the 1-0. That one finds the inside corner, and it's 1-1. The Bullfrogs notably much better hitters against the left-handed pitchers than they are against right-handed pitchers. Batting 259 against lefties this season and 233 against righties. 1-1. That one's low and gets away from the catcher, and Falia will easily scamper over to second base. And so now with an out on the board, a runner in scoring position in Falia. It's a fastball that runs between the 5-hole, right between the legs of Tim Dalporto. Tim Dalporto will go out and have a quick word with Marshall Oting, and now come back and crouch behind home plate. Catcher's gear for the Lakeshore Chinooks kind of clashing with their uniforms. It's all white and royal blue. Lefty and Marshall Oting come set. Sends in the 2-1. Swung on. It's a blooper over the head of the second baseman and bounces fair. Chris Sabo going to send in Mikey Falia. The throw from center field's not going to be on target, and it's going to be an RBI single for Riley Smith. Mikey Falia comes around to score for the second time in this one, and the Bullfrogs take a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Riley Smith continuing his hot hitting for the Bullfrogs, grabbing himself an RBI single tonight. Last night went 1 for 3, and here recently for the Bullfrogs, as mentioned, hitting .378 coming into the game in his last 10 games, and that number getting better tonight as he managed an RBI single here in this one. Manages to get over to second off of it, and he takes a lead out there. Troy Johnston, the left fielder, now digs in. Johnston 0 for 2 on the day. The left fielder would fly out to left his first time up and ground out to first his last time up. With one out on the board, there's still a runner in scoring position in Smith. And so if Johnson can manage a single, he could grab himself another RBI. Of course, on the season for the Bullfrogs, Johnson has the most RBIs. 23 to be exact. The 1-1 swung on and fouled away right side. So Johnson falls behind, a ball and 2 strikes here. And out on the board, and Riley Smith at second. Standing on deck is Alex Pinner, who's 1 for 1 on the day with an RBI. Johnson stands in, the left-handed hitter out of Washington. 1-2 pitch swung on, a skyrocketed pop-up in the infield. Shortstop gets underneath of it over near the pitcher's mound. Jack Dunn grabs it. 2 outs on the board now. And Johnston goes 0 for 3 on the day now. He'll try to bounce back later on in this game. Of course, normally a good hitter for the Bullfrogs. Not off to a great start here tonight. So after the pop-up to the shortstop, Alex Pinner, the first baseman, will dig in. 1 for 1 on the day with an RBI. Would manage a walk back in the third before being stranded at third. Watches the first one go by. A curveball from the lefty in O'Ting. And it comes right across the plate, 0-1. Alex Pinner batting righty here. Of course, the switch hitter was batting lefty against the right-handed pitcher, batting righty now against the lefty. Watches the 0-1 runner wide and low, 1-1. Of course, was batting lefty against the righty earlier, I should say. Against right-handed pitchers this season, Alex Pinner batting .300. And against lefties, Alex Pinner is batting a notable .259. So it hasn't been as well batting from the right side of the plate. But he's ahead in the count here, 2-1 as a fastball runs low. 2-1 delivery. Fastball low in the dirt. And he gets ahead in the count here, 3-1 now. Alex Pinner batting righty has managed a home run and 2 RBIs on the season. The 3-1. One's low and away, ball 4. And Alex Pinner manages to work the walk for the second straight inning. Runners at first and second now as Kyle Bino, the designated hitter, digs in. Kyle Bino kind of in a bit of a slide in his last 6 games, batting just .174. And on the season for the Bullfrogs, Bino coming into the game batting .236. Of course, Wilby and Wausau representing the Bullfrogs in the Home Run Derby. There's 9 players from the South Division that were selected to represent their teams for that honor. And so it's not like one of those things where every team gets 1 player. Bino earning the honor to go out to Wausau in the next couple of days. He seems excited for the opportunity. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. 1-1. 2 outs on the board here, 2 runners on. Bullfrogs looking to avoid leaving more runners stranded. And it's coming into this inning. They had already left 7 stranded, and that's just through 3 innings. Bino stands in, the righty out of Youngstown State. Swings at the 1-1 pitch. It's a high skyrocketed foul ball over in foul territory, but nobody can get there. It's over towards the bullpen. The third baseman, Jacob Richardson, Joe Duncan, the left fielder, and Jack Dunn all sprinting over to try to make a play on it. The best shot at it was Jacob Richardson, the third baseman, who looking over his head and reaching out, trying to make the miraculous catch, can't manage it. And now a 1-2 count with 2 outs on the board. Kyle Bino, the designated hitter, now stands in. The lefty, Marshall O'Teen, comes set. Checks the runner at second and deals in the 1-2. That one swung on, popped up behind home plate. The catcher running over, but can't make the play as it bounces on the backstop gravel. Count remains 1-2. Kyle Bino played his high school ball at IMG Academy. Of course, that's where Chris Sabo, head coach of the Green Bay Bullfrogs, currently his full-time job is at. the head coach over there at IMG Academy. Of course, yes, that's IMG Academy that you are accustomed of hearing to. The 1-2 pitch, so one gone and missed. Strike three. Kyle Bino goes down swinging for the second straight time, and the Bullfrogs leave two more runners stranded. That's 9 on the day. That'll do it for the fourth frame. Stay tuned for the fifth. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Stay tuned.
Get the camera. Riley's rolling again.
That dog always gets excited up here at the cabin.
Riley loves the woods, don't you, Riley? Roll, Riley, roll. You getting this?
I'm getting it all. It's fabulous. But we can't upload it until we get home.
Right, no data connection up here.
Challenge.
Coach McCarthy?
Mason Crosby.
Switch to Cellcom, guys. Our coverage is great, whether you're out here or anywhere coast to coast.
Yeah, Riley's fans don't want to wait.
Now Riley's really on a roll.
At Cellcom, we've got you covered out in the country and all across the country. Cellcom, built for you.
Very athletic. I think we can use him on special teams.
But not to kick, right?
We'll see.
This summer at Cellcom, save $100 on a new LG G6, and we'll cover your cost to switch from another carrier. Cellcom, built for you. Activation, flex agreement, and data subscription required. Device trade-in required. Restrictions apply. Trademarks and names are property of their respective owners. Visit cellcom.com/save for complete details.
Hello and welcome back to Joe Annie Stadium here. Top of the fifth inning about to get underway. New pitcher out on the mound for the Green Bay Bullfrogs. It will be the right-handed pitcher, Garrett Gooden, out of Georgia Tech. We've only seen Gooden pitch so many times for the Bullfrogs this season, as he is a recent addition and would kind of tweak something after his first appearance on the mound for the Bullfrogs. And so despite the fact he's been here for a couple of weeks, we've only seen him one time. He would pitch 2 innings against the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders and go scoreless. Allow just 1 hit, would not walk anyone, and strike out 2 for a 0.00 ERA. The right-handed pitcher out of Georgia Tech making his home debut here today for the Bullfrogs. We'll see what he can do against some Northwoods League competition. As to start off this season, the righty out of Georgia Tech found himself in the Coastal Plains League over in North Carolina, playing for the Blowfish. Lexington Blowfish, that is. Made 3 appearances in that Coastal Plains League and would pitch, or rather support, a 2.45 ERA in just 3.2 innings pitched, allowed 1 run. This past season at Georgia Tech, he would make 7 appearances, all in relief, strike out 3, and allowed 11 earned runs. Did not have a great freshman campaign out of Decanter, Georgia. Case the leg and sends in the first pitch of his home debut, and it's a fastball that runs inside for a ball, an 87-mile-per-hour fasty. He's got some power to him. The 1-0 offering, swung on and missed. That evens the count 1-1. It's Nick Gatewood, the all-star out of Georgia State, who is dug in for the Lakeshore Chinooks. Nick Gatewood on the day 0 for 2. Would get on base in the 3rd inning off of an error. Another fastball from Gooden, and it's a 1-2 count now. Gooden ahead here. And it's the 2 Georgia products face off against each other. The 1-2 swung on, liner into left, tracking over is Troy Johnson. Can he make the play? And he makes the grab on the run on the warning track. A good play from the left fielder, Troy Johnston. Nick Gatewood with a well-hit liner deep to left center. Troy Johnston sprinting back, raises the glove and makes the grab. A good play from the left fielder. He can cover some ground out there. So after the flyout, Jacob Richardson, the 3rd baseman, will dig in. Richardson 0 for 1 on the day. Managed to walk his last time up. Would be stranded over there at first in the 3rd inning as well. The first pitch he sees, another fastball from Gooden that runs high, 1-0. Garrett Gooden has finished up his freshman campaign as Jacob Richardson swings at the 1-0. A fly ball deep to right, but Tanner Poole on the warning track makes the grab. Garrett Gooden managing some strikes here, and if they're not a strike so far, they have just been fly balls deep to left and deep to right. So we'll see what he can do here. He's retired the last 2. I'm sure he's taken some deep breaths as The Lakeshore Chinooks sending them deep, but they're not leaving the yard. Caleb Dean, the right fielder, will now dig in. He's 0 for 2 on the day with 2 strikeouts. Garrett Gooding takes a leg and sends one in. A breaking ball that runs low, 1-0. That looked like a nice pitch from Gooden. The peanut gallery here on the grandstands letting the umpire hear it. 1-0 pitch, fastball, swung on a little liner to center, and that's going to be a base hit. The second hit that Gooden has allowed all season. A well-hit ball by Caleb Dean. In fact, he might have actually cracked his bat on that one, made it kind of a funny noise off of the bat. Flew out to center, just a little blooper, almost sliced underneath of it. But it gets the job done. It's the 4th hit of the game for the Lakeshore Chinooks. And Caleb Dean takes a lead over at first, and Jack Dunn, the shortstop, digs in. Dunn on the day 0 for 1. Snap throw from the catcher, Plunkett, is not in time. Caleb Dean slides back in safely as Plunkett trying to get his pitcher and Gooden out of it. Jack Dunn, the shortstop, goes down the count 0-1 as the fastball finds the zone. Jack Dunn, his last time up, was hit by a pitch and came around to score. 0-1 delivery. Fastball that runs low in the dirt, or rather a breaking ball there from Gooden. That might have been the first we've seen. 1-1 now. Gooden carries himself with a certain swagger out on the mound. After every out, he kind of takes a little walk out into the infield grass. Checks the runner at first a couple of times. Comes set. The tall, lengthy right-hander deals in that one. Swung on and grounded to third. It's fair. It was close, though. Throw from Dan Leckie. Not in time. A good play from Dan Leckie, but just missing the throw by inches. Jack Dunn able to manage an infield single as the Lakeshore Chinooks have now strung together 2 hits in a row. Runners at first and second now, and Caleb Dean and Jack Dunn. Daniel DeSimone, the first baseman, will now dig in. DeSimone on the day 1 for 1. Would get a base hit double in the 4th inning and managed to walk back in the 2nd. He's been on base both times he's come up. The right-handed hitter digs in. Garrett Gooden, the right-handed pitcher, steps on now. Stares down the first baseman. Checks the runner at second. Comes home and delivers. A breaking ball that runs wide and low. Plunkett has to drop to the knees to block it. 1-0. Daniel DeSimone stands in out of Oklahoma State, batting .283 on the season. A 1-0 pitch. That one runs inside for a strike. 1-1. DeSimone in his past 10 games batting at about the same he's done on the season, .278. Would redshirt this past season, so no college stats. The 1-1 pitch. That one runs low. And a 2-1 count now. Second baseman Riley Smith and Daniel DeSimone from the same hometown, both from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Makes you wonder how many times they've faced off over their careers. Of course, Riley Smith now plays for the University of Minnesota, and DeSimone in the Big 12 at Oklahoma State. 2-1 pitch. That one runs wide. And a 3-1 count now.
Something's brewing around here.
Garrett Gooden, the right-handed pitcher, licks his fingers. Comes set. The right-handed pitcher maneuvering the ball around in his hand behind his back hip. Deals in the 3-1, and it runs wide. The base is loaded. Gooden in a bit of a bind here. Walks out to the mound, grabs the ball from his catcher, Plunkett, and now stands back up on the rubber. We'll see what he can do here. It's his first real situation where he's in a bit of a bind. Retired the first 2 batters he's faced, allowed 2 hits in a row, and now walks the 3rd one. Bases juiced. Runners at first, second, and third. Caleb Dean at third, Jack Dunn at second, and Daniel DeSimone at first. Tim Dalporto, the catcher, digs in. Watches the first one go right across the plate. 0-1. Tim Dalporto, 1 for 1 on the day, managed the RBI sac fly back in the 4th. Gooden deals in the 0-1. Breaking ball, that finds the inside corner. A nice curve from Gooden there. And he gets that in the count 0-2. Bullfrogs have managed to strand 7. Can they make it 10? 0-2 delivery. Breaking ball that runs low. Gooden walks off the mound, kind of cocks his head almost to say, like, that's all right. Grabs the ball back from Plunkett and stands back down on the mound. Right-handed pitcher comes set. Rocks back. Sends in the 1-2. Breaking ball wide. A nice curve from Gooden there. Looked like it was going to go straight over the plate, and then last moment dips way wide. Tim Dalporto disciplined, however, watches it go by. A 2-2 count now. 2 outs on the board. Bases loaded. Gooden, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket, deals in the 2-2. Fastball that just misses wide. And now threatening to walk in a run. The Bullfrogs have a 2-1 lead over the Lakeshore Chinooks here in the top of the 5th inning. A full count. Can they maintain their lead? Tim Dalporto, the catcher, stands in and awaits. Runners off. The throw. Finds the inside corner. Garrett Gooden leaves the bases loaded and grabs his first strikeout in a Bullfrogs uniform at home. That'll do it for the top of the 5th. Stay tuned for the bottom half. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Stay tuned.
When you're looking for the perfect game for your appetite, look no further than Brewpub Lots of Matzo Pizzas. Made with premium meats and veggies, then topped with over half a pound of 100% fresh, real mozzarella cheese made right here in Wisconsin, every Brewpub Lots of Matzo Pizza is a home run. Made with the hungry in mind, Brewpub pizzas are big, bold, and belong in the big leagues of the frozen pizza industry. Enjoy a delicious piece of Brewpub Lots of Matzo Pizza right now from the concession stand, or pick one up at your local favorite grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matzo Pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
Did you know that we here at the O'Connell Pharmacy would mail your prescriptions to you? At the O'Connell Pharmacy, we would like to make things easy for you. The O'Connell Pharmacy, our family helping your family.
Thanks for playing the Putting Challenge, sponsored by Fox Hills Resort, a 500-acre year-round resort and conference center located in an ideal setting for seasonal recreation, relaxation, and family fun. Located just 25 miles south.
Hello and welcome back to Joe Annie Stadium here, bottom of the 5th inning, about to get underway. The Bullfrogs support a 2-1 lead over the Lakeshore Chinooks here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Dan Leckie digs in for the Bullfrogs. Leckie, the third baseman on the day, is 1 for 2. Managed a base hit back in the 3rd inning, his last time up. Watches the fastball go by low, 1-0, as it's still Marshall O'Ting outs on the mound for the Lakeshore Chinooks. The left-handed pitcher out of Memphis deals in the 1-0. That one swung on a slow blooper right back to the pitcher. He runs forward, scoops it up, and underhand tosses it to DeSimone for the first out. 1 up, 1 down here in the top, or rather bottom of the 1st inning, wasting no time. Marshall O'Ting grabs the first out. Ben Hart, the second baseman, will now dig in. His first time up would go down swinging, but his last time up in the 3rd managed the walk. Swings at the first pitch. He sees a high fly ball deep to right. That's in the corner, and the right fielder on the warning track out there right in front of the Liney's fan deck reaches up and grabs it. Caleb Dean tracking all the way back actually runs into the Liney's deck. A little bit more up from Ben Hart there, and that might have managed its way into the Liney's deck. But just like that, 2 pitches and 2 outs. Poole digs in and watches one go by. Wide for a ball. 1-0. Tanner Poole on the day, 1 for 2. Managed to double back in the second inning, but would go down looking his last time up. Swings at the 1-0 pitch. It's a breaking ball. Just gets a piece of it off of the end of the bat. Tanner Poole will step out and now stays back in. Sporting the black and gray batting gloves. Waves his lumber around the 1-1 pitch. Check swing. It was low. 2-1. Tanner Poole supporting the white wrist tape. And, of course, the Bullfrogs in their home pinstripes. 2-1. Finds the inside corner, evens it up 2-2. Of course, black sleeves, black stripe down the sides, black pinstripes, and orange numbers. The word Bullfrogs etched across the chest. And the 2-2 pitch finds the corner. Strike 3. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Marshall Oting, and that'll do it for the 5th. Stay tuned for the 6th. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network.
Honey, get the camera. Riley's rolling again.
That dog always gets excited up here at the cabin.
Riley loves the woods, don't you, Riley? Roll, Riley, roll. You getting this?
I'm getting it all. It's fabulous. But we can't upload it until we get home.
Right, no data connection up here.
Challenge.
Coach McCarthy?
Mason Crosby.
Switch to Cellcom, guys. Our coverage is great, whether you're out here or anywhere coast to coast.
Yeah, Riley's fans don't want to wait.
Now Riley's really on a roll.
At Cellcom, we've got you covered out in the country and all across the country. Cellcom, built for you.
Very athletic. I think we can use him on special teams.
But not to kick, right?
We'll see.
This summer at Cellcom, save $100 on a new LG G6, and we'll cover your cost to switch from another carrier. Cellcom, built for you. Activation, flex agreement, and data subscription required. Device trade-in required. Restrictions apply. Trademarks and names are property of their respective owners. Visit cellcom.com/save for complete details.
Hello and welcome back to Joe Annie Stadium here, top of the 6th, about to get underway. The Green Bay Bullfrogs have a 2-1 lead over the Lakeshore Chinooks here in the top of the 6th. It's still Garrett Gooden out on the mound for the Bullfrogs, the right-handed pitcher out of Georgia Tech here on his home debut. Would pitch 2 innings on the road against Fond du Lac and only allowed 1 hit in that contest and would strike out 1 as well. So far tonight for the Bullfrogs, he pitched the last inning and, well, he got himself in a bind, but he got himself out of it. Would allow 2 hits and a walk, but would strike out the next batter he faced, leaving the bases loaded. The Bullfrogs tonight have left 10 runners stranded. Lakeshore Chinooks trail here 2-1. The Bullfrogs have left some runners stranded on their own as well, as tonight they have managed to leave 9 runners stranded. With that being said, Drake Lubin, the center fielder, digs in. The 9-hole hitter on the night, 0 for 2. His last time up would line out to center field. Garrett Gooden, the righty out of Georgia Tech, replacing Andy Archer, who, of course, went home with an injury and has just kind of seemed to have been the storyline of the season for the Bullfrogs. First pitch that Garrett Gooden sees finds the outside corner, 0-1. Gooden, the right-handed pitcher, rocks back and sends in the 0-1. Fastball swung on left side, just manages to stay fair, and Lubin rounding first. He's going to go for 2. The slide, not in time, as the throw is not on target. It's a single for Drake Lubin. Not the prettiest of hits by any means. A slow grounder left side. Third baseman Dan Leckie diving to his right, can't put the mitt on it. It pops over the third base bag to stay fair and got all the way into left field. Lubin showing his speed there, manages to get to second off of it. I don't know if every batter in the lineup for the Chinooks would have been able to make that single into a double, but he manages it. And with no outs on the board, a runner at second. Matthew Micah, the second baseman and leadoff hitter, digs in. First pitch to him, swung on and found away left side, 0-1. Matthew Micah on the day, 0 for 2. Was hit by a pitch his last time up. Matthew Micah stands in and awaits. Garrett Gooden checks the runner at second and deals in the 0-1. Snap throw to second. Ambitious play there from Plunkett, but the runner gets back. A 1-1 count now, no outs on the board. Matthew Micah stands in. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball that runs low in the dirt. I think that one actually broke down at the last moment. A slider, it looked like, from Gooden. And it's a 2-1 count. We are here in the top of the 6th inning where the Bullfrogs have a 2-1 lead. RBI singles from Alex Pinner and Riley Smith. Garrett Gooden checks the runner at second and deals in the 2-1. Swung on, it's a fly ball to right. Tanner Poole has the runner tags up. Throw from right field, that might be in time. It's dangerous, but it's not quite on target. The runner slides in safely, and so it'll be a sacrifice fly for Matthew Micah. And now with just 1 out on the board, a run just 90 feet away for the Chinooks as they have an opportunity to tie this thing up. Joe Duncan, the left fielder, will dig in. Joe Duncan has been on a tear recently for the Chinooks, has managed two-hit days in a row. The right-handed hitter stands in and awaits. Garrett Gooden kicks the leg and sends in the first pitch of the at-bat. It's a breaking ball that runs low in the dirt, and it's a 1-0 count. So Drake Lubin moves over to third, threatening to score and tie this game up now. The 1-0 pitch swung on and fouled up and away, foul out of play and out of the stadium. 1-1.
Call 920-468-7820.
The 1-1 pitch is swung on, popped up foul behind home plate. Zach Plunkett, the catcher, underneath of it, makes the grab. A nice play from the catcher. Zach Plunkett has to throw his mask, look up into the sun. Then he gets into the shade and kind of wiggles around to make sure he gets underneath of it. It's a windy day here in Green Bay. I'm sure the wind playing a factor on that one. We've seen catchers not make that easy play, or rather not make that play look easy. However, that time Zach Plunkett makes it look easy. He grabs it 2 away. The All-Star Nick Gatewood now digs in. First pitch to him, fastball right over the plate, 0-1. Gooden gets ahead. Gatewood waving the lumber around. The 0-1 to him. Swung on, grounded right back up the middle of the field. Base hit, RBI for the All-Star. And the Chinooks tie it up 2-2. Not going to be the prettiest hit of Gatewood's season. It might have killed a couple of worms along the way. Our field crew might have to put an extra work in on the infield grass as that one tears up the infield as it gets into the outfield, and it's a base hit and an RBI for Nick Gatewood. The 7th hit of the game for the Chinooks, but just their 2nd run. And with 2 outs on the board, Jacob Richardson digs in. First pitch to Richardson. Fastball runs inside for a strike, just snipping the upper outside portion. An 0-1 count now. 2 outs on the board. Gatewood takes the lead from first. The 0-1 delivery. Swung on a slicer up the middle of the field, and Riley Smith missed it. An E6. That could have been the end of the inning easily. It takes an awkward bounce off of the grass. It's kind of just over the glove of Riley Smith. He thought that he had it calculated perfectly. Puts the glove out, closes it, in fact, even. I mean, he thought that he had it. Bounces right over his glove, and instead of out number 3 in the end of the top of the 6th, and there's 2 outs and 2 runners on in the top of the 6th. Caleb Dean, the right fielder, now digs in. Jacob Richardson, the 3rd baseman, on first off of the E6, and Caleb Dean, the right fielder, digs in. Caleb Dean 1 for 3 on the day. First pitch that Dean sees goes by for a strike, and Zach Plunkett snap throw successful. They leave the runner stranded, and they throw it to Ben Hart and get him out. That'll make up for an error. That's something that Zach Plunkett has been great with this season. He has the ability to snap throw and get it to you as if he had stood up and launched one. The guy just has an absolute rocket for an arm, and he successfully throws down a runner there. That will do it for the top of the 6th inning, the Bullfrogs leave a runner stranded. That'll do it for the top of the 6th. Stay tuned. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Tied up 2-2.
It's the best time of the year to update your ride. NEW Credit Union's Super Summer Loan Sale. From July 10th to 28th, get super low rates as low as 2.49% annual percentage rate.
To jumpstart the big event, from July 10th to the 16th, you can find your perfect car, truck, or SUV from a selection brought in by trusted local dealers right to our credit union offices in Oconto Falls, Oconto, and Surrey. Compare them side by side, or you can also visit a participating dealer and see their expanded selections.
Call NEW Credit Union for details at 800-924-1250. That's 800-924-1250. Get up to 100% financing during the Super Summer Loan Sale.
Borrower must meet NEW Credit Union membership eligibility and credit-worthy requirements. All loans subject to approval. Example of repayment would be a monthly payment of about $17.75 per $1,000 borrowed for 60 months. Federally insured by the NCUA. Super Summer Loan Sale at NEW Credit Union. Get ready to own it!
Welcome back to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Bottom of the 6th inning, about to get underway. The Bullfrogs tied up with the Lakeshore Chinooks here 2-2. Due out for the Bullfrogs will be the 9-hole hitter, Zach Plunkett. Plunkett's 1 for 2 on the day, managed a base hit his last time up. Plunkett digs in. And still out on the mound for the Lakeshore Chinooks is Marshall Oting, although they do have a righty warming up in the pen. First pitch that Plunkett sees is a breaking ball that runs inside. That one goes way down there, just 52 miles per hour. A 1-0 count now, no outs on the board. The 1-0 delivery, swung on, a fly ball deep to left. Tracking back is Joe Duncan at the wall. It's gone. A home run for Zach Plunkett, his 3rd of the season. Hits it off of the Festival's food sign away out there on the old scoreboard. Zach Plunkett gives the Bullfrogs a 3-2 lead, and Plunkett, we've talked about, has the ability to get the long ball out of here, and sure enough, does it there. The Bullfrogs take a 3-2 lead here in the bottom of the 6th, and a due-up now for the Frogs will be Mikey Falia. An absolute moonshot from the catcher out of the University of Arkansas. A transfer in from TCU, sent out this past season, and has come to the Northwoods League and put on a show. He's been practicing his home run shots in batting practice. In fact, here recently he's gotten in a habit of getting into home run derbies against another player on the Bullfrogs roster, normally Tanner Poole or so. They practice to see who can hit the most home runs during batting practice, and, well, I don't know if that's paying off for Plunkett, but it sure is working at least. I don't know if he's beating Plunkett in the home run derbies during BP, but he's winning the one in this game, as he's now 2 for 3 on the day. Mikey Falia swings at the 1-1 pitch. It's a slow grounder to short, and the shortstop, Jack Dunn, scoops it up and throws it across the field for the first out. Mikey Falia had watched the ball go by wide and watched one go over the plate. So it was a 1-1 count when it came into him. But a 6-3 out puts 1 out on the board here in the 6th inning, where the Bullfrogs lead 3-2. Riley Smith, the shortstop, will now dig in. He's 1 for 3 on the day, managed an RBI single his last time up. He digs in with nobody on and an out on the board. First pitch to him. Breaking ball, then finds the lower portion of the plate, 0-1. Riley Smith, the right-handed batter out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. 0-1 to him. That one runs high and wide. It evens the count up 1-1 here. Marshall Oteen, the lefty out of Memphis, comes set. Rocks back and sends in the 1-1. Swung on. That one popped up in foul territory over by the first base bag, where Daniel D. Simone, the first baseman, gets underneath of it and makes the grab right in front of first base coach Mike Ramazzotti. 2 away now. And Troy Johnston, the Gonzaga University Bulldog, digs in. Troy Johnston on the day for the Bullfrogs. 0 for 3 would pop up to short his last time up. Swings at the first one he sees. A line drive to center. That's going to drop fair. Frozen rope from Troy Johnston grabs his first hit of the game, and the home crowd goes wild. Troy Johnston's family is here to watch their son play tonight, and they watch their son, Troy Johnston, grab the 7th hit of the game for the Bullfrogs. They're at first now with 2 outs on the board. Alex Pinner, the first baseman, digs in. He's 1 for 1 on the day with an RBI and 2 walks. The catcher, Tim Talporto, will go have a word with his lefty and Marshall O'Teen. The conference between the pitcher and the catcher has come to a close. Alex Pinner, the right-handed pitcher, digs in, and Marshall O'Teen deals in a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. Pinner chased that one out of the zone, and it's an 0-1 count now. Marshall O'Teen comes set, deals in the 0-1, fastball right over the plate, 0-2. Alex Pinner steps out, takes a deep breath, and digs back in. Has been hot recently for the Frogs. 0-2 delivery. Swung on. Lined right back to the pitcher. Nearly made an emphatic play. Throw to first in time. It was a liner straight back to Marshall O'Teen. He raises his glove, and it hits it square in the middle of the mitt. In fact, it hit his glove so fast that it didn't even have time to close the mitt. It falls down onto the ground, and O'Teen picks it up and throws it over to first, beating out Pinner. The Bullfrogs leave a runner stranded, but they take a 3-2 lead off the bat of Zach Plunkett. The 9-hole hitter, now 2 for 3 on the day, sends a home run over the left field wall, and the Bullfrogs lead 3-2. Stay tuned. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Stay tuned.
Visiting teams and combinations are brought to you by American Inn Lodge and Suites, Green Bay West. For toll-free reservations, contact 800-634-3444. American Inn Lodge and Suites, Green Bay West. Welcome to genuine American hospitality.
Do you need help organizing your medications? Stop in and see us at the O'Connell Pharmacy about our monthly bubble packing system. The O'Connell Pharmacy. Our family helping your family.
Triangle Distributing is a diversified distributor of high-quality beverages that is focused on providing customer satisfaction, service with well-trained personnel that drives the market through teamwork, goals, and strong relationships.
Hello and welcome back to Joe Annie Stadium, top of the 7th, about to get underway. Garrett Gooden still out on the mound for the Bullfrogs. The right-handed pitcher out of Georgia Tech has pitched 2 innings so far for the Frogs and has not allowed a run. Has gotten the Bullfrogs out of some jams, however. As the right-handed pitcher, Garrett Gooden, his last time up, would leave a runner stranded, and back in the 5th inning, left the bases loaded. First pitch that Caleb Dean sees is a ground ball left side that finds the gap, and it's a base hit for Dean, his 8th of the game. Garrett Gooden has pitched 2 innings for the Bullfrogs, allowed 5 hits, and actually, my apologies, 1 run doesn't come across in the past inning. Allowed a walk and has struck out 1 tonight as well. So Jack Dunn, the shortstop, now digs in for the Chinooks. The right-handed pitcher stands in. The Bullfrogs have a 3-2 lead. Throwback to first. Good Lord, an absolute strike over there to first base. Alex Pinner looking even to get a mid on it. Good and looking to try to get the pick off there against Caleb Dean, but he slides back in safely. Dean now 2 for 3 on the day. 2 for 4 on the day, rather. Jack Dunn digs in and calls time. Steps out, readjusts some things. Garrett Gooden standing out there on the rubber, comes set. Jack Dunn, the shortstop, digs in. Gooden checks the runner at first a couple of times and deals in the 0-1. That one runs wide. Zach Plunkett fakes the snap throw. He might have even been able to get him there as the runner over there at first, and Caleb Dean had a pretty large lead. Done the shortstop out of Alpharetta, Georgia, plays for Northwestern. Of course, teammates with Willie Bourbon. This past season for Northwestern would have 231. Runner off from first, a hit and run there, and that's going to be a base hit. It's going to be a successful hit and run. As the 1-1 hits a line drive out into right field, a frozen rope from Jack Dunn. And runners on the corners now with no outs on the board. The Chinooks managing to string together hits here in this one. They have been very successful at it as well. 9 hits tonight and 2 runs. The Bullfrogs have done a solid job of leaving runners stranded tonight, as they have left a grand total of 11 batters stranded tonight. They're going to look to add 2 more to that total, but it's going to be tough. Runners on the corners with no outs on the board, and Daniel DeSimone digs in. The right-handed hitter out of Oklahoma State awaits. Gooden deals to him. It's a fastball that just runs high, a 1-0 count. Of course, Daniel DeSimone out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, was high school teammates with Riley Smith, the shortstop today for the Bullfrogs. So that's got to be pretty cool. One goes to Oklahoma State and one goes to Minnesota, and they get to face off against each other and meet up again here back in Green Bay in the Northwoods League. A 1-0 pitch goes across for a strike, and it evens the count. 1-1 here. No outs on the board, top of the 7th inning. Garrett Gooden checks the runner over at first. The 1-1 delivery. That one runs low in the dirt. It's a 2-0 count. Snap throw to first. They got him. The runner over at third was not paying attention, taking his time, going back to the third base bag, and Zach Plunkett makes them pay. That is almost one of the best things we've seen here at Joe Annie Stadium. Absolutely fools Caleb Dean. The right fielder standing over at third, taking his time, getting back to the third base bag. Plunkett launches one over there. Blecky's there to apply the tag, and Dean is just dumbfounded. Was not ready for it. And 2 outs on the board now with the runner at first. A 2-2 count. Garrett Gooden now in a completely different scenario with a runner at first and an out on the board. Daniel DeSimone digs in. Gooden comes set, deals in the 2-2. It's a fastball that's low in the dirt. In fact, actually broke off last moment. A nice slider there from Gooden. However, it just kind of breaks all the way down into the dirt there, and nothing that Plunkett can do about it besides block it from getting behind. But it's a full count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runner takes a lead from first. Gooden steps off the mound. Zach Plunkett gives this Bullfrogs the 3-2 lead, and then gives them some life here on defense as well with that snap throw. Runner off from first. Throw down from Plunkett won't matter as it's ball 4. So runners at first and second now. Zach Plunkett put an out on the board, and there Gooden was ahead in the count there. However, throws a couple of more strikes, or rather balls, and walks a runner. So Daniel DeSimone now over at first. There's 1 out on the board, and Jack Dunn is able to move to second off of it. Tim Dalporto, the catcher, digs in now for the Lakeshore Chinooks. Dalporto on the day, 1 for 2, would strike out his last time up. Has managed a sacrifice fly RBI tonight. Another breaking ball from Gooden there, but that one runs way in the dirt as well. His breaking ball is missing the zone here. However, his strike ball has been firing. A 1-0 count here with an out on the board. Zach Plunkett walks back to the mound with his pitcher and Garrett Gooden, and they're having a quick conference. Zach Plunkett gives him a big hit on the chest, and Gooden gives him a smile, and Plunkett running behind home plate now will dig or rather will crouch back in spot. Bullfrogs lead the Lakeshore Chinooks here 3-2. Top of the first inning, there's an out on the board and runners at first and second. Tim Dalporto digs in. First pitch to him, fastball. Evens the count up 1-1. Of course, that was the first pitch after the conference. Tim Dalporto, of course, a recent addition to this Chinooks team, playing in just his 6th game. Has a double on the day, however, and a sacrifice fly RBI. Gooden stares down the runner at second and deals in the 1-1. Runs low in the dirt. It gets away from the catcher. Throw down to third. Not in time. The throw from Plunkett was low in the dirt. Dan Leckie did his best Academy Award-winning tag there. However, it was not on time. Tries to swipe down on the runner and fool the umpire there, but he's not convinced. Calls him safe, and now an out on the board and a 2-1 count. Infielders now playing off the infield grass. And Gooden deals the first pitch to the new batter. Or rather, not new batter, as that one got away from Dalporto. Excuse me. Instead, the foul off to the right side evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes here. Bullfrogs in a bind. We'll see if they can strand some more runners. The 2-2. Fastball runs low, and a full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and out on the board. Gooden's been able to get ahead in the count here. However, once he gets ahead, he's had a hard time getting the strikeout. Shakes off a couple of pitches, and time is called from Tim Dalporto. Porto steps out. Now stands back in. Gooden sends in the payoff. Swung on and fouled back straight into the backstop. We'll redo the full count here. Bullfrogs on the night with 7 hits. The Chinooks with 9. Frogs have left 11 runners stranded. There's been a runner stranded in every inning for the Bullfrogs tonight. Payoff pitch. Runs wide for ball 4, bases loaded.
Patrick, you're live.
There's a right-handed pitcher warming up in the pen for the Bullfrogs.
Stay there, Patrick, still live.
Gooden's managed to get the Bullfrogs out of some binds already tonight. We'll see if he can do it again. Bases juiced and out on the board. Best case scenario, either a double play ball or a strikeout. Lubin digs in. The 9-hole hitter swings at the first one and fouls it straight back. Goes down the count 0-1. Lubin on the night is 1 for 3. Would have managed the double back in the 6th inning. Would come around to score then as well at the time tying the game. 0-1 pitch to him. Swung on and fouled back, and Gooden ahead in the count again. We'll see if he can get out of it. Runners take their lead at first, second, and third. Drake Lubin awaits the 0-2. Just runs high, a fastball missing by centimeters. 1-2 count now. The delivery. Swing and a miss. Oh no, just got a piece of it. Spoke too soon. Off the end of the bat, fouled back just a bit. I thought it was just a ball that had gotten away from Plunkett. Count moves to, or rather stays at 1-2 after the foul ball. Gooden comes set. Deals in the 1-2. That one runs low. Now an even count, 2-2. Can feel the tension rise with every pitch. The Frogs have a 3-2 lead. 2-2 delivery from Gooden. Runs low for ball 3 and a full count now. A walk would tie the game. A base hit might give the Chinooks the lead. Payoff pitch. Runs low for ball 4, and Garrett Gooden walks in a run. Tie ball game. 3-3 here. Top of the 7th inning. And Chris Sabo and Chris Marston elect to keep Gooden out there. They're not going to give him a talk either. Of course, this is one of his first times out on the mound for the Bullfrogs, but Chris Sabo says, all right, I've seen enough. And he's going to go out and relieve his right-handed pitcher out of Georgia Tech and bring in Jake S. We're going to step aside for the pitching change. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Stay tuned.
Hi, folks. This is David from Witt's Piggly Wiggly in Oconto Falls. Are you sick of rising gas prices? Well, at Witt's, we have a solution. When you purchase qualified groceries with blue shelf stickers, and there's hundreds throughout our store, you build up discounts for 15 gallons of gas on your club card. Then, when you fill up at our Pig Stop pumps, just scan your card and watch the gas price drop. So scan your card, shop the blue stickers, and save money on gas at the Pig in Oconto Falls.
They say the great American dream is starting and owning your own business. A lot of you out there right now probably do stuff on the side. Do you regard it just as hobbies and don't even include it on your taxes? What tax savings opportunities are you missing with all the loopholes that the tax code is chock full of? You need someone to drive the bus, as they say, to success. That's 715-735-0583. Milking every last loophole in the tax code for your benefit.
Hello and welcome back to Green Bay here at Joanne Stadium. Top of the 7th inning. We're all tied up 3-3. Garrett Gooden's day has come to a close. Gooden would pitch 2 1/3 innings for the Bullfrogs, allow 6 hits, walk 4 runners, and would strike out 1, allowing 2 runs. He walked 3 batters in a row to finally Chris Saba to say, all right, I've seen enough. Jake Est comes out on the mound now for the Bullfrogs, the right-handed pitcher out of Villanova. We're tied up 3-3 here. And Matthew Micah, the second baseman, is in. Micah on a bit of a slump here in the past couple of games. Last night went 0 for 3. Tonight for the Lakeshore Chinooks is 0 for 3. Has been hit by a pitch. That's the only time he's been on base in the past 2 nights. First pitch to him, a fastball that runs high. 1-0. Micah stands in the 1-0 to him. Check swing. Did he go around? No, he did not. Zach Plunkett thought so. He was nodding his head as he pointed down towards the first base umpire. 2-0 count now. That's behind. The delivery. That one runs wide, and the Bullfrogs threaten to walk in another run. They have had their troubles finding the strike zone this season. So far on the night, Bullfrog pitchers have already walked 6. Make that 7 as the Bullfrogs give up the lead. Lakeshore Chinooks take a 4-3 lead here in the top of the 7th. A run is walked in. And the Chinooks take a 4-3 lead. Joe Duncan, the left fielder, will dig in now with the bases juiced and Justin out on the board. Duncan on the day 1 for 4. Watches the first one go by for a strike. 0-1. S deals in the 0-1. Another fastball that runs high and away. Evens the count 1-1. Jake Adams, the righty, comes set, kicks the leg, sends in the 1-1. That one right across the plate, and a 1-2 count now. The crowd here in Green Bay trying to get behind their pitchers here. So far in this inning alone, they've walked 4 batters. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. There's a strikeout for Jake S. And now 2 outs on the board. And the all-star Nick Gatewood will dig in. Nick Gatewood will find himself in Wausau tomorrow, representing the Lakeshore Chinooks. So far on the day, Gatewood is 1 for 4. Managed a base hit RBI his last time up. Can grab another base hit here. He could easily grab a couple of more RBIs. First pitch to him. Swung on, fly ball to center. Falia underneath of it. Makes the grab, and the Bullfrogs leave the bases loaded. They do allow 2 runs, and the Chinooks take the lead, but that could have been much worse for the Bullfrogs. Stay tuned for the bottom half of the frame. It's time for the 7th inning stretch. Stay tuned. We got a baseball game. Bullfrogs trail by 1, 4-3. Stay tuned. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network.
Honey, get the camera. Riley's rolling again.
That dog always gets excited up here at the cabin.
Riley loves the woods, don't you, Riley? Roll, Riley, roll. You getting this?
I'm getting it all. It's fabulous. But we can't upload it until we get home.
Right, no data connection up here.
Challenge.
Coach McCarthy?
Mason Crosby.
Switch to Cellcom, guys. Our coverage is great, whether you're out here or anywhere coast to coast.
Yeah, Riley's fans don't want to wait.
Now Riley's really on a roll.
At Cellcom, we've got you covered out in the country and all across the country. Cellcom, built for you.
Very athletic. I think we can use him on special teams.
But not to kick, right?
We'll see.
This summer at Cellcom, save $100 on a new LG G6, and we'll cover your cost to switch from another carrier. Cellcom, built for you. Activation, flex agreement, and data subscription required. Device trade-in required. Restrictions apply. Trademarks and names are property of their respective owners. Visit cellcom.com/save for complete details.
Hello and welcome back to Joe Andy Stadium. Bottom of the 7th about to get underway. New pitcher out on the mound for the Lakeshore Chinooks, as the Chinooks have a 4-3 lead here in the bottom of the 7th. They put 2 runs across in the top of the 7th inning as the Bullfrogs would walk 2 runs in. 4 walks in that top of the 7th inning by Bullfrogs pitchers. They would leave the bases loaded, I should say, leaving 3 runners stranded. 14 runners tonight that the Bullfrogs have left stranded out there. This game could easily be out of hand, but the Bullfrogs pitchers have gotten out of binds tonight. The Chinooks have managed just 4 runs on 9 hits. The Bullfrogs with 3 runs tonight on 7 hits. And they're going to look to try to bounce right back here. Last time that the Chinooks tied things up, of course, the Bullfrogs responded with a solo shot. Talking about solo shots, Kyle Bino digs in. He leads this team in home runs with 4. Kyle Bino will be representing the Green Bay Bullfrogs in the Home Run Derby come a couple of days from now. We'll see if he can get a practice swing here tonight. Of course, the Bullfrogs with that solo shot in the bottom half of the 6th inning from Zach Plunkett. Kyle Bino, the 5-hole hitter and designated hitter, swings at the 1-0 pitch but fouls it away. And the count is even, a ball and a strike.
Another foul ball brought to you by Tri-City Glass Indoor. Call 920-468.
No outs on the board. And the Bullfrogs looking for a little spark here on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. 1-1 pitch fouled away. 1-2. Not a cloud in the sky, a slight breeze, cool temperatures. If you're going to tell me that in the middle of July you'd have weather like this, I'd say you're crazy. A 1-2 delivery. Fastball swung on and missed, and Kyle Bino goes down swinging for the 3rd straight time. Nick Campy out on the mound now for the Lakeshore Chinooks. The right-handed pitcher has pitched against the Bullfrogs many a times this season. As Nick Campy, the right-handed pitcher, grabs his first strikeout of the game, and it gets Kyle Bino swinging. Dan Leckie, the 3rd baseman, will now dig in. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Nick Campy on the season for the Chinooks has appeared in 17 games and has posted a 3.96 ERA. All 17 appearances in relief, has allowed 11 earned runs, thrown 37 strikeouts, and has a 2-1 record. Deals in a fastball that comes across for a strike against Lecky, 0-1. The 0-1 delivery comes inside for a ball, a 1-1 count now. Campy wasting no time, comes set, takes a breath, and sends in the 1-1. That one swung on. It's a frozen rope to left. That might drop fair. It does. Lucky rounding first. He's going to get over to second. The throw from left field, not on target. And Dan Leckie grabs a double here in the bottom of the second inning. That's Dan Leckie's first multi-bagger of the season for the Bullfrogs. Of course, Dan Leckie coming into the game for the Frogs really wasn't playing all that well. The third baseman, granted, had only played in a couple of games for the Bullfrogs, but Leckie only batting 100 on the season. In 5 games, he had just 2 hits, but here tonight has doubled that. Has 2 hits on the day. He's 2 for 4 with a single and a double. And with a runner in scoring position at second and Leckie, Ben Hart, the second baseman, digs in. Watches a fastball run high and inside, has to raise his arms to avoid being hit by that one. And it's a 1-0 count. Ben Hart on the day, 0 for 2. Would fly out to right field his last time up. A 1-0 delivery to him. That's a fastball that finds the outside corner. 1-1. That fly out to right nearly escaped the park here. Was nearly in the liney's deck. And would have been a solo shot for Ben Hart, but he didn't really get all of it. He would have got more of that ball, and that one's easily out of the stadium. The 1-1. Watches that one just miss the outside corner. Ben Hart thought about swinging at that one. Ben Hart recently for the Bullfrogs has been a bright spot. Hart coming into the game batting .318 in his last 6 games, but in his last 3, he has managed 7 hits, 2 home runs, and 7 RBIs. That's right, you heard that right. That good for a .636 batting average in his last 3. Fouls away another one, and it's a 2-2 count now. Nick Campy sends in the 2-2. Swing and a miss. A fastball high and inside that Ben Hart thought that he liked, but he's underneath of it and misses everything. 2 outs on the board now off of 2 strikeouts for Nick Campy, and the right fielder Tanner Poole will dig in. The Mississippi State product 1 for 3 on the night, managed to double back in the second inning, but has gone down looking his last 2 times up. Nick Campy kicks the leg and sends in the first pitch. Fastball hits the outside corner, 0-1. Nick Campy sends in the 0-1. Fastball that runs wide, 1-1. Nick Campy out of Olivet Nazarene, the junior from Illinois. The 6-2 righty deals in another one, that one finding the zone, and it's a 1-2 count now with 2 outs on the board. Runner at second and Dan Leckie. In his 7th game as a Bullfrog has 2 hits. Campy sends in the 1-2. Swung on a fly ball deep to right. Tracking back is Drake Lubin. He's not going to get there. That one all the way back to the warning track, and it bounces off the batter's eye. Tanner Poole's going for 3. Rounding second, and he's going to get there standing up. A stand-up triple for Tanner Poole. Has a 2-bagger and a 3-bagger on the day. Dan Leckie comes across to score for the Bullfrogs, and they tie it up. 4-4 here in the bottom of the 7th inning, and a run standing just 90 feet away in Tanner Poole. After the triple, Zach Plunkett will dig in. The catcher, his last time up, managed a solo shot, which at the time gave the Bullfrogs a lead. He can manage another one. That would give the Bullfrogs another lead, as we are tied up now here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So far tonight, the Bullfrogs have responded with every shot the Chinooks have given them. The first pitch that Nick Campy sends in is a fastball that is swung on and missed. Plunkett just missing that one, a little high on it. 0-1 count now. Plunkett digs in. Nick Campy keeps the leg and sends in the 0-1. That one swung on and fouled back straight into the backstop netting. And goes down the count 0-2 now. An absolute blast from Tanner Poole. A liner deep into left center field. No shot for Drake Lubin to get to. And an absolute dead sprint back. Couldn't even attempt a diving play at it. Can't do anything but run back and pick it up off the warning track and throw it back in. An 0-2 delivery. Runs high for a ball. An 87-mile-per-hour fastball from Campy. He's kind of picked it up a notch after allowing the triple against Poole. Was hitting just about 85 with his fastball. A 1-2 count now. Campy deals it in. Swing and a miss. He leaves a runner stranded at third. It's his third strikeout of the inning. That'll do it here for the 7th frame. Stay tuned for the 8th. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. We are all tied up 4-4. Stay tuned.
At 24/7 Well and Pump Service, we mean just that. Water will be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call 920-848-2407 or 920-604-2407, and a licensed professional will come out to your site, whether it is a water system installation, repair, well inspection, or install underground water lines. They'll be there. Call 920-848-2407 or 920-604-2407. We're in the O'Connell Falls area Yellow Pages. 24/7 Well and Pump Service, Fireside Road, O'Connell Falls.
Do you feel like you're paying too much for your medication? Stop in at O'Connell Pharmacy and see our pharmacist, Ron Poom, about our cost minimization program. We can save you some money. The O'Connell Pharmacy, our family helping your family.
This is Larry Fitzgerald with Game Day Goal. Tune in to WOCO FM 107.1 Fridays at 6 p.m. to hear me and Eric Nelson discuss the sports topics of the day.
Hello and welcome back to Green Bay, Wisconsin, here at Joanne Stadium. Top of the 8th, about to get underway in the Bullfrogs. Have a 4-4 tie in front of them. Jake S. still out on the mound for the Bullfrogs. The right-handed pitcher out of Villanova will face off against Jacob Richardson, Caleb Dean, and Jack Dunn in this inning. Jacob Richardson last night for the Lakeshore Chinooks would manage the 2-run walk-off home run for the Chinooks. However, so far today is 0 for 3 with the walk. Last time up would get on due to an error. The right-handed hitter stands in, and Jake S., the righty out of Villanova, stands in. Or rather, toes the rubber, I should say. Jacob Richardson out of Southern Arkansas on the season against the Bullfrogs has played well. Batting .368 with 5 RBIs coming into the series against the Bullfrogs. And recently had been on fire. There's a reason that the Chinooks would elect to use him as a pinch hitter. In his last 10 games was batting .421 with a home run and 4 RBIs. Watches one go by for a strike. The next one runs wide, and it's an even count. A ball and a strike here, no outs on the board. Jake Epps, the right-handed pitcher out of Villanova, comes set, maneuvers the ball around behind his hip in his right hand, and now delivers in the 1-1. Swung on. Fly ball to center. Tracking over is Mikey Flea, and Tanner Poole, the right fielder, running to his right, gets underneath of it and makes the grab for the first down. 1 away. And Caleb Dean, the right fielder, digs in. Caleb Fielder, the right fielder on today, 1-2 for 4. Has gotten a base hit his last 2 times up after striking out 2 times in the second and third. Would be over at third base for the Chinooks in this last inning with the bases loaded and no outs on the board. Zach Plunkett would pop up and throw him out over there as he lazily went back to the bag. Did not expect Plunkett to throw him out, and he pops up and snap throws it over the third, and Leckie applied the tag. And if it's not for that snap throw from Plunkett, I mean, that could have been a really long inning for the Bullfrogs. Dean fouls away the 0-1 pitch and goes down the count 0-2. The 0-2 delivery is a fastball that runs inside at the knees of Caleb Dean, and it's a 1-2 count now. The Chinooks still managed 2 runs in that top of the 7th. The Bullfrogs would walk both of those runners in. 1-2 pitch, swung on, grounded up the middle of the field. Riley Smith can't handle it as well. It's his third error. It's a ground ball right back up the middle of the field. Jake Asp attempted to actually make a barehanded throw on it, and then elects not to. It's a grounder right up the middle of the field. The shortstop, Riley Smith, gets the ball over by the second base bag and just kind of pops out of his glove. It's an E6, the third error of the night for the shortstop. Of course, normally a second baseman for the Bullfrogs. Trying to give Richie Tecco a breakout there, however, struggling here tonight. Jack Dunn shows bunt, and it's a fastball way inside. I think he actually fouled it off. Or no, he did not. He was hit by the pitch. It looks like it hit him in the arm. Jack Dunn is running over to first. He thinks he was hit by the pitch. The home plate umpire is having a word with his third base umpire to see if whether or not the ball hit the bat or if it hit his hand. And he's going to say that it did, in fact, hit him in the chest, that he put the bat in front of his body there to shield himself, and it hit him square in the chest. So it's a hit by pitch, the third of the night for the Bullfrogs, and there's runners at first and second with with 1 out on the board here in the 8th inning. So a runner at second off of the E6, and then a hit by pitch. And Daniel DeSimone digs in. First pitch, DeSimone sees. Fastball low, 1-0. DeSimone, the first baseman on the day for the Chinooks, is 1 for 1 and has been walked 3 times. Gotten on base all 4 of his appearances. The 1-0 him. Fastball that paints the outside corner. A 1-1 count now. And out on the board, we're all tied up 4-4 here in the top of the 8th inning. Jake Asp trying to give his Bullfrogs a win. The 1-1. Swung on. Fouled away left side. A 1-2 count now. Jake Asp on the season for the Bullfrogs has pitched relatively well. Has had some instances where he has come in and really struggled to find the zone. But on the season, for the most part, has pitched well. As supports a 4.18 ERA as he deals in another fastball that runs wide. And it's a 2-2 count now. Asp 0-2 on the day, or rather 0-2 on the season. And has 1 start to his name. 22 strikeouts on the year as well. The Villanova product sends in the 2-2. Fastball that runs low in the dirt. The runner almost takes off from second, and the throw from Zach Plunkett nearly got away into center field. The shortstop, Riley Smith, saves that one. If that one gets over the head of second baseman and shortstop, that's going to be a base for the Chinooks. But it's a full count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And now on the board, runners at first and second. DeSimone digs in, the runner's off. Runs wide, ball 4, bases loaded with an out on the board. Bullfrogs find themselves in another jam. The Bullfrogs have managed to leave 14 runners stranded in this game. An unreal amount. Twice they have left the bases loaded. Can Jake Asp do it again? Tim Dalporto, the catcher, digs in. Dalporto 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI. First pitch to him. Right across the plate, 0-1. Down Porto managed the double back in the second inning, and a sacrifice fly in the fourth. Worked the walk his last time up. If he can do it again, it'll score another run. 0-1 pitch finds the outside corner. And an 0-2 count now. Esp ahead. Can he grab another strike and put 2 outs on the board? Bullfrogs last night lost a close one to the Chinooks team. If they get a win today, it will even the series. 0-2 pitch runs low in the dirt, and it's 1-2. The season series currently sitting at 3-4, and so this is the last time the Bullfrogs will face off against this Lakeshore Chinook team. All 3 of their wins coming on the road at Capco Park against this Chinooks team. If they can win here at home, it'd be their first of the season at home against this team. 0-2 pitch, swung on, slow grounder to short. Tosses second in time, throw to first in time. A 6-4-3 double play. The Bullfrogs leave 2 stranded. That'll do it for the top of the 8th. Stay tuned. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Stay tuned.
If you don't know everything about insurance, you'll profit from the knowledge and experience at the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, 113 North Main Street, downtown Oconto Falls. You'll benefit from their thorough analysis of the insurance that you really need. They'll recommend the companies and policies that are the best for you. At the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, they specialize in complete coverage of all your insurance needs. Call the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, 113 North Main Street, downtown Oconto Falls.
When you're looking for the perfect game for your appetite, look no further than Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizzas. Made with premium meats and veggies, then topped with over half a pound of 100% fresh, real mozzarella cheese made right here in Wisconsin. Every Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizza is a home run. Made with the hungry in mind, Brew Pub pizzas are big, bold, and belong in the big leagues of the frozen pizza industry. Enjoy a delicious piece of Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizza right now from the concession stand, or pick one up at your local favorite grocery store. Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
Hello and welcome back to Joe Annie Stadium. Bottom of the 8th inning about to get underway, and the Bullfrogs are all knotted up with the Chinooks 4-4. Right-handed pitcher out on the mound, Nick Capey for the Chinooks. In his last inning would throw 3 strikeouts. However, the Bullfrogs get a run against them, as Tanner Poole managed an RBI triple and tied up the game. 2 out for the Bullfrogs here in the top of the 8th will be the leadoff man, Mikey Falia. Falia on the day is 0 for 2, but has been walked twice and came around to score 2 times as well. The center fielder digs in and awaits the first pitch from Campy, who comes set and deals it. Fastball swung on a line drive to center. Lubin tracking back, and he's not going to get there. Rounding first is Falia. This could be a 2-bagger, and it will be. He'll be held up at second. A stand-up double for Mikey Falia. So to lead off the 8th inning here, Falia grabs a double. His first hit of the game, now 1 for 3. Riley Smith, the shortstop, digs in. Riley Smith is 1 for 4 on the day. His last time up would pop up at first base. And that's Falia's just 2nd double of the season. So in 25 hits, he only manages 2 doubles. The speedster takes a lead over at second, and Smith waves the bat around awaiting. First pitch to him shows bunt. Lays it right down up the middle of the field. Catcher grabs it. Throw to first. Not in time. A perfect bunt from Falia. An infield single. Runners on the corners now with no outs on the board. And the Bullfrogs threaten to take a lead. Riley Smith last night would manage a sacrifice. They were going to sneak away with the victory tonight. And the bottom inning, instead of a sacrifice bunt, it's an infield single. It moves the runner over to third, and runners on the corners now with no outs on the board, and Troy Johnston, the left fielder, digs in. Johnston 1 for 4 on the day. Swings at the first one. He sees a line drive to center. That's a base hit RBI for the left fielder, Troy Johnston. And the Bullfrogs take a 5-4 lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And they're not done. No outs on the board, and Alex Pinner will dig in. The Lakeshore Chinooks put a right-hand pitcher out in the bullpen, and he's warming up now. Tim Del Porto, the catcher, is going to go have a word with Nick Campy. The right-handed pitcher now on the night has allowed 2 runs to come across, as the Bullfrogs have put a run across in what is now the 3rd straight inning. They put one across in the 6th, 7th, and they're threatened to put another one across here in the bottom of the 8th. 2 runners on, no outs on the board. Alex Pinner is dug in. He's 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI and 2 walks. The switch hitter now batting lefty against a right-hander in Nick Campy. However, the head coach of the Lakeshore Chinooks, Eddie Morgan, is going to come out and relieve his pitcher. Nick Campy's day has come to a close. He pitched 1 inning and threw 3 strikeouts. However, he allows a couple of hits and 2 runs, and his day has come to a close. We're going to step aside for the pitching change. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network.
Is a diversified distributor of high-quality beverages that is focused on providing customer satisfaction, service with well-trained personnel that drives the market through teamwork, goals, and strong relationships.
Combine the flavors of Italy with the heart of the Irish, add some Chicago flair, and you've got Gallagher's Pizza. For the best Chicago-style pizza north of the Illinois border, Gallagher's Pizza is your destination. Call now for delivery or pickup in Green Bay and De Pere. Gallagher's Pizza, home of the best lunch buffet in town.
Okay, here are 3 important reasons why your son or daughter should play a sport in high school.
Number 1.
High school sports teach valuable life lessons like self-discipline and time management skills.
2.
Teens who play a high school sport have better grade point averages.
And number 3.
High school sports are safer than ever before.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Hello and welcome back to Green Bay, Wisconsin here at Joanne Stadium. Bottom of the 8th inning and no outs on the board, and the Bullfrogs have taken a 5-4 lead. It's a base hit from Riley Smith that scores Mikey Falia, who led off the inning with the double. Alex Pinner, the first baseman out of Scottsdale Community College, now digs in with runners at first and second. Riley Smith takes the lead from second, and Riley Smith takes one, or rather, Troy Johnson takes one at first. Alex Pinner, the first baseman, watches a fastball run high and wide, 1-0. New pitcher out on the mound for the Lakeshore Chinooks is Ryland Thomas, who last night played first base for the Chinooks. The right-handed pitcher deals in the 1-0. A 91-mile-per-hour fastball is fouled away left side, and it's a 1-1 count now. No outs on the board, runners at first and second. Alex Pinner, the switch hitter, now batting lefty, waves his lumber around. Ryland Thomas checks the runner at second, and Smith and deals in the 1-1. Swung on, line drive to left center. That's going to drop fair, and Sable's going to hold up Riley Smith at third, likely the right decision as well. Riley Smith wanted to come around, but the third base coach elects to hold him at third and load the bases. No outs on the board, and Kyle Benio digs in. Benio on the day 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Has 4 long balls on the season. And as I've mentioned a couple of times, that will be in the home run derby. Here come a couple of days from now. A home run here would send this crowd into a frenzy. The first pitch he sees is a breaking ball that runs wide, an 0-1 count. Bullfrogs looking to even the season series against the Lakeshore Chinooks, currently down 3-4. Lost last night's game on a 2-run walk-off home run at Capco Park. 0-1. Swung on a slow grounder to second. A run's going to score, but it's going to be a 4-6-3 double play for the Lakeshore Chinooks. Kyle Bino hits into the double play, but grabs himself an RBI as Riley Smith comes across to score, and the Bullfrogs take a 6-4 lead here in the bottom of the 8th. A runner over at third now in Troy Johnston as Dan Leckie digs in. A slow grounder to Matthew Michael. A shovel pass to Jack Dunn. Steps on the second base bag for the first out. Throws it to first for the second. So 2 outs on the board now for Dan Leckie, the third baseman who's having his best game in a Bullfrogs uniform so far. Granted, has only played in 7 games now for the Bullfrogs, but he's 2 for 4 with a single and a double. The right-handed hitter awaits the 1-0 pitch. That one comes across for a strike. A 1-1 count now. Nick Campy comes set, or rather, excuse me, Ryland Thomas comes set, who of course relieves Nick Campy and deals in the 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball wide. 2-1 count now. Two-one delivery. Fastball. Just runs low. Actually, a changeup took a little bit off of that one was Thomas, who has some impressive speed to be an infielder. Speed on his fastball, that is, of course. A 3-1 count now. The delivery right across the plate, 90 miles per hour from the right-hander. And a full count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs on the board. A runner over at third. Bullfrogs would like another insurance run here. They lead 6-4. Payoff pitch. Little check swing there from Leckie. Makes contact, but fouls it away over towards the dugout. Will remain full. Dan Leckie out of Lafayette College. Trying to create some sparks here in the Northwoods League. Just finished up his sophomore campaign. The right-handed hitter awaits. Payoff pitch runs low and away. Ball 4. Bullfrogs with runners on the corners now as Dan Leckie continues his good game. Works the walk and gets on base for the 3rd time tonight. And Ben Hart, the second baseman, digs in. Hart is 0 for 3 on the day, but as mentioned, in his last 3 games has 2 home runs. Would hit back-to-back home runs in a game against Madison and Wisconsin Rapids. First pitch to him, swung on a slow chopper up the middle of the field. The shortstop has it to throw to first in time. And the Bullfrogs leave 2 runners stranded, but they put 2 runs across and take a 6-4 lead. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. The Frogs 3 outs away from grabbing their 3rd win of the second half of the season. Stay tuned. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network.
Over the past 60 years, Triangle Distributing has maintained itself as a leader in the market as it has responded to the changes in product innovation and consumer demands. It is in this commitment to employees, customers, community, and supplier partners that has enabled them to remain one of the best and most respected distributors in our state.
Wisconsin law requires all youth athlete organizations to educate coaches, athletes, and parents on the risks of concussions and head injuries. The law prohibits participation in a youth activity until the athlete and parents have signed an agreement sheet indicating they have reviewed concussion and head injury information materials. The Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction has published a Sideline to Safety Guidelines for youth athletic organizations. Visit the WIAA website to learn more at www.wiaawi.org.
Hello and welcome back to Joe Amy Stadium here. Top of the 9th inning, Bullfrogs 3 outs away from grabbing their 3rd win in the second half of the season. That does not sound like a large number whatsoever, but with the way the Bullfrogs have played this season, they have been in every single game in this second half. Every single one. Granted, you hear that number and you say, there's no shot. as they're 2-9. But I'm telling you, in all 9 of their losses, the Bullfrogs have either had the lead, had the tying run at the plate, or on a base, and they just haven't managed to get it done. They're 3 outs away here, and Drake Lubin digs in. Lays a bunt down the first base line. Is it going to stay fair? Oh, my goodness, it does. What a bunt from Drake Lubin. Zach Plunkett flicks it into foul territory almost as a joke. Home plate umpire likes it. He gives the catcher a nice smile, but that might have been the best bunt in the history of the Northwoods League. Drake Lubin lays it down the first base line, and it just keeps trickling and trickling and trickling and trickling, but it just never goes right at that line. And so a lead-off single for Drake Lubin. The 9-hole hitter is on, and Matthew Micah, the second baseman, digs in. Jake S. still out on the mound for the Bullfrogs. Swings at the first one. A slow grounder to second. Riley Smith has it. The throw to first in time for the first out. Does move the runner and Drake Lubin to second, however, but it's a 4-3 out. Bullfrogs now 2 outs away. Notably, I said Riley Smith picked it up at second. Riley Smith comes in to replace Ben Hart at second, and Richie Tecco comes in as a defensive replacement, and now he's playing shortstop. Of course, Riley Smith, starting the game as the shortstop, he had managed 3 errors on the day. So Richie Tecco now at short for the Bullfrogs, and Joe Duncan, the left fielder, digs in. He's the tying run. First pitch to him, fastball way wide, and it moves the runner over to third easily. It's a fastball that gets away from Jake Asp, a wild pitch. Asp kind of touches his chest 2 times, almost as if to say to Plunkett, my bad, won't happen again. But 1 out on the board now in a 1-0 count. Bullfrogs have a 6-4 lead here in the top of the 4th inning. Asp takes a breath, kicks the leg, sends in the 1-0, swung on and fouled back.
Another full ball.
And evens the count.
City Glass and Door. Call 920-468-7820.
One delivery. That one runs high and wide, and it's a 2-1 count with an out on the board. Runner over at third. Joe Duncan is the tying run at the plate. Duncan on the night has managed to go 1 for 5. Would lead off the game with the single, but has gone 0 for 4 since. Swings at the 2-1 and fouls that one away. Now an even count.
Full ball brought to you by Tri-City Glass and Door. Call 920-468-7820.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Asp sends in the 2-2. Fly ball right field. Foul territory. Running over his pinner in the bullpen. Makes the basket catch. Runner tags up. Throw from the first baseman all the way out in the bullpen is not in time. So it's a foul out from Joe Duncan. However, the runner over at third and Drake Lubin tags up and comes across to score. The Bullfrogs now an out away from grabbing the victory. However, the all-star catcher and Nick Gatewood digs in. The designated hitter on the day is 1 for 5 with an RBI. Has 2 home runs against the Bullfrogs this season. Swings at the first one and fouls it back. 0-1, he falls behind. A 1 delivery, swung on line, drive up the middle of the field. Base hit for Nick Gatewood. His second hit of the game. And for the Chinooks, they're 12th. So tying run at first now and go ahead run at the plate. And how familiar does this sound? With the Bullfrogs up 1 with 2 outs on the board in the 9th inning. There's a runner at first, and Jacob Richardson digs in. Jacob Richardson, the right-handed hitter last night for this Lakeshore Chinooks team, hit a 2-run, 2-out, walk-off home run. And with an out on the board, or rather 2 outs on the board, Connor Kimple comes in to pinch run for Nick Gatewood. First pitch to Richardson, swung on, grounded to second. Riley Smith bobbles with it. The throw to first, however, is in time, and the Bullfrogs hold on to win. The Frogs beat the Lakeshore Chinooks 6-5, and they improve to 3-9 on the season.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out to tonight's
The Green Bay Bullfrogs split the season series with the Lakeshore Chinooks 4 games to 4 games. Both teams winning 3 games on the road and 1 game at home, and they split the series 1-1, both teams winning at home. So the Bullfrogs will now face the Chinooks for the rest of the season. It's been a nice matchup every single time these two teams have faced off. As mentioned, they break the season series with a tie, 4-4. The Bullfrogs manage the victory tonight against the Chinooks, 6-5. The Chinooks did get a run across in the top of the ninth, but Jake S. holds on to get the win. Stay tuned for the post-game show. For those of you on the Northwoods League web stream, thanks for tuning in. It's been Nolan Knight, and as always, it's a pleasure calling Green Bay Bullfrogs baseball. Until next time, have a good week. We're going to step aside for the next 3 days as there is the All-Star break around the corner. Make sure to tune into those festivities. That's going on in Wausau, Wisconsin. Until next time, stay tuned. It's the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network.
Is the frozen pizza that you're eating at home tired and worn out? It just doesn't have its stuff anymore. Its toppings are low and inside while the cheese is chin music. The time has come, friends, to make the switch. Make the call to the Brew Pub Bullpen. Bring in the relief and get the win with Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizzas. Made with premium toppings, then smothered in over half a pound of fresh 100% Wisconsin-made mozzarella cheese, Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizzas are the ingredients for a great time. Find us online at brewpubpizza.com, on Facebook at Brew Pub Pizza, or follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Brew Pub Pizza. Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizza, the ingredients for a great time.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Wisconsin. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Hello and welcome back to Green Bay, Wisconsin, here at Joe Annie Stadium. Green Bay Bullfrogs beat the Lakeshore Chinooks here at home. The first time we've been able to see that this season. 0-3 coming in this game against the Chinooks at home. But they get the victory here the last time they faced off against this team. The Chinooks and Bullfrogs tie the all-time record 4-4. And the Bullfrogs finally on the right side of that win column. I mentioned it during the broadcast. I mean, this Green Bay Bullfrogs team has been in every game this season. And by this season, I mean the second half of the season. They've given up some wins late. They've given up some leads, and they have just really struggled at times late in the game. They've had the lead, and they've had momentum throughout the season in all of those losses. But finally, tonight, the Green Bay Bullfrogs get the victory. They beat the Lakeshore Chinooks 6-5 here at home. Your winning pitcher on the night is Jake S. S dealt a great game for the Bullfrogs today and gets the win. Coming to relief, Nick Parr, he started the game out for the Bullfrogs, and he pitched well out on the mound for the Bullfrogs as well. The game today taking about 3 hours to complete. In fact, 2 hours and 59 minutes. Your winning pitcher and your saving pitcher is Jake Est. He pitched 2 2/3 innings, allowed just 2 hits, walked 2, struck out 1, and allowed just 1 earned run. Garrett Gooden came in for relief. He pitched 2 1/3 inning. He allowed 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, and struck out 1. Nick Parr, he got the start. He would have pitched 4 innings for the Bullfrogs, allow 3 hits, 1 earned run, would walk 2, and strike out 5. Losing pitcher on the night was Nick Campy. He pitched an inning, allowed 5 hits, 3 earned runs, and would strike out 3. Let's take a look at the scores around the league before we take a dip into the in-depth box score and give you your Roar Big Care Sports Medicine Player of the Game. The Duluth Huskies beat the Rochester Hawkers 11-3 tonight. The Bismarck Larks, they beat the Thunder Bay Border Cats 2-1. The Wisconsin Woodchucks, they are getting pummeled by Battle Creek Bombers 20-3. The Kalamazoo Growlers lose to the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders 7-10 in a game where the Kalamazoo Growlers took a 7-1 lead in the first inning. The Kenosha Kingfish, they are trailing the Madison Mallards in the top of the 8th inning 2-9. The Rutherford Rivets in a high-scoring contest against the Wisconsin Rapids Raptors. They trail, however, 10-14. The Wilmer Stingers lose to the St. Cloud Rocks 1-2. The Eau Claire Express have a 5-4 lead over the La Crosse Loggers. That game in the top of the 7th. The Waterloo Bucks have a 2-1 lead over the Mankato Moondogs. That one in the bottom of the 3rd. With that being said, let's take a look at the in-depth box score presented by the Knight family. The Mikey Falia train continues. He had a great game, went 1 for 3, would post 3 runs for the Bullfrogs and be walked twice. So every time he gets on base, he came around and touched home plate. Riley Smith, the second baseman on the day, that moved over to second base and nearly had error number 4 to end the game. However, he picked it up in time. I mean, that thing was dangerous. Had a good game besides his defensive play. Went 2 for 5 with an RBI and a run scored. Troy Johnson went 2 for 5 tonight with a run and no walks. Alex Pinner went 2 for 3 with an RBI and 2 walks. Kyle Bino goes 0 for 4 with an RBI. Would hit into a double play, but a run came across. That coming in the bottom of the 8th inning. A much-needed insurance run for the Bullfrogs as the Lakeshore Chinooks would plate that run in the top of the 9th. Dan Leckie goes 2 for 4 tonight for the Bullfrogs and had a run and a walk. Tanner Poole goes 2 for 4 with an RBI and triple. Zach Plunkett went 2 for 4 with a run and an RBI. We gave you your pitching stats already. Your losing pitcher, of course, Nick Campy. He pitched an inning, allowed 3 earned runs. That coming in, of course, the 7th and 8th innings. Notable stat lines for the Lakeshore Chinooks. There were 4 players that managed multi-hit days. Nick Gatewood went 2 for 6 with 2 hits. Caleb Dean went 2 for 5. Jack Dunn went 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. And Drake Lubin, he went 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored and an RBI and walk. Your winning pitcher one last time, Jake Esp. Your saving pitcher, Jake Esp as well. And your Aurora Baycare Sports Medicine player of the game, Zach Plunkett. First time Plunkett's been awarded the honor. He goes 2 for 4 tonight with a run, an RBI, and a solo shot. And that'll do it here in Green Bay. Thanks for Larry back in the studio. Staying tuned with me tonight. It's 7 o'clock here Central Time. It's a great Sunday afternoon, and the All-Star break sits on the horizon. We will not be in action for the next 3 days because of that much-needed All-Star break. As you can imagine, my vocal cords are not happy with me. With that being said, the Bullfrogs are back in action at home against Battle Creek come Thursday and Friday. Both of those games at 7:05. And then the Bullfrogs will travel out to Michigan for the 4-game Michigan trip. And listen to this, if you haven't heard this one yet. After they come back from that Michigan trip, they're probably going to get back around, and by they, I mean I'm going to be right with them, but it's probably going to be around 3 or 4 a.m. The next day, the Bullfrogs have an 11:15 game against the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders. So we will be here on the air at 10:55 for that one after I only get about 2 hours of sleep. And that game's also a doubleheader, so whoever scheduled that one, not the best of ideas, but, you know, who can complain about it? The Bullfrogs grab a victory tonight over the Lakeshore Chinooks 6-5. As always, it's a pleasure calling Green Bay Bullfrogs baseball. The Frogs win. Jake Esp gets the victory and the save, and that will do it here in Green Bay. Thanks to Larry back in the studio, and thanks to all of you who have lent your ears here for the first half of the season and the first half of this second half of the season. Stay tuned till next time. It's been Nolan Knight. Have a great rest of your week. Peace.
Did you hear? We've branched into your living room. This is Beth Larson from the Stevenson National Bank and Trust. Our e-branch at snbt.com lets you manage your money 24/7 from the comfort of your home. Apply for loans, check your balances, and even open accounts. Don't waste another minute. Visit snbt.com now to take advantage of all the convenience of our e-branch offers from the Stevenson National Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
That has been Green Bay Bullfrog Baseball on WOCO Stereo FM. Today's game being brought to you by 24/7 Well and Pump, Islandfeld, Saskatchewan, and Anderson, the NW Credit Union, O'Connell Pharmacy, the O'Connell Falls Insurance, Stevenson National Bank and Trust, and Witt's Piggly Wiggly. Also by America Inn, Brew Pub Pizza, Cellcom, Tri-City Glass, and Triangle Distributing. Stay tuned for more Green Bay Bullfrog Baseball on 107.1 WOCO Stereo FM. Have a great day.